Hello, welcome to the PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019 Fall Split. This is the European region that you are watching. Our sponsor is NEX. If you want to beat out anyone on the battlegrounds, you need uninterrupted and seamless gaming with a NEX phone.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we're going to be getting underway with the EU region, as you say, heading over onto different map rotation groups A and C, taking one another on.
Indeed. So we're going to have pretty much the most dominant teams in Group A coming at you with FUTBOLIST, Asterion Myth, and also Team Unique, who everyone is keeping their eyes out for.
Absolutely, and they need to keep their eyes peeled because these guys are on fire. They've had some really, really strong games, topping out the Fragger boards as well. Really, really strong stuff coming out from this squad. And to be expected, to be fair, from the victors of the last season over in the PMCO Spring Split, earlier this year, of course, making it all the way to those global stages in Berlin.
Yeah, and I've been talking to quite a few different teams now already, and a lot of teams are saying that they really do respect Team Unique and what they brought to the table and their global finals experience, so they're definitely not going to shy away from Team Unique, but they're going to give them a little bit of room to work with.
What I'm looking for, though, is someone to flip that on its head. I want something, because, you know, you can lull Unique into a false sense of security, right? They don't think anyone's going to try and hardcore challenge them. If any region's going to do it, it's going to be Europe. They could just gun straight in and try and take Unique on head on.
A very aggressive region you guys are now watching. I mean, yesterday on day one, we had obviously A and B teams and FUTBOLIST in Group A versus Team Unique. We had on Miramar, where Asterion Myth actually ended up winning out, but it was FUTBOLIST coming in second, who absolutely just turned around on Team Unique and gave them a right wrecking. Here we have a competition system. Obviously, we have a group stage right now. That's what you are actually watching. We've got groups A, B, C, and D, which are all comprising of 8 teams, making up 32 total. 24 of those teams will go through the semi-finals, and then the only top 16 will go to the regional finals, where they'll duke it out for that #1 spot.
Yeah, whoever's going to be crowned the kings of EU, or the queens of EU, depending on who the rosters are made of.
Exactly. Here are ranking scores. Obviously, in first place, you have 20. That used to be 30 in the spring split. It has been brought down by 10 points. You get 14 for second, 10, and then it starts to fall off once you get to that 4th position, all the way down for just 2 points in 10th place.
Yeah, and the 11 to 16 plateau makes the kills early on, if you think you're going to go down, kind of worth it sometimes. So sometimes, if an early fight breaks out, it might go all the way to a full squad wipe. We have seen that happen before, and especially in a region like EU.
Exactly. And here we have our actual groups. So we have Group A and Group C returning to us. Asterion Myth, FUTBOLIST, Deformia Meditari, Ultra Team, Team Unique, Magic, M19, and Cream Esports there in Group A. And for Group C, John?
We've got Romania Team, Pro, of course, No Rage, KUMA, Bit Ice, Immortals, Heroes, IceX, and FROMHELL, who did actually qualify for the regional for the global prelim stage last time around, but weren't able to make it, so they still have a lot to prove.
Yeah, actually had a little chat with Zana from KUMA earlier today, talking about his the plays that went down on Miramar yesterday. He was actually talking about KUMA Tabsi, who made it all the way into that top 3 spot on his own before unfortunately being taken down by Helios on the other side of the map there. But he said that his hands were shaking, his heartbeat was over 9,000, which I think you should probably see a doctor about, to be honest with you. But really excellent job from them, and KUMA are looking to be one of those more consistent teams we have been seeing. They've been doing pretty well in the early game, and they usually make it towards those last circles.
Yeah, they have been doing pretty well, but then again, a chaotic region like EU can cause any good team to falter, to stumble sometimes, because, you know, even if you're a good team, you're winning very generously. If you're winning 90% of your fights, there's still that 10% of times where you're going to lose it, right? You're going to go down, and you're going to have a massive disadvantage. So it's playing from those spots that really separate the top from the bottom.
Exactly, and Team Unique shown us so far that they can just win fight after fight after fight. FUTBOLIST seems to be much more aggressive team as we get towards those later circles, but they can absolutely wreck a team in a 1v1 scenario. They do really, really well with it. So I think FUTBOLIST is probably the team I'm looking at to challenge Unique at the moment. Asterion Myth definitely picked up some pace during that day 1 as well, towards the end, obviously getting that win on Miramar. So there are some really good teams in Europe that we're seeing starting to dominate. But now we get to see Group C once again. What we've got in Group C, we've got Bit Ice, Immortals, Heroes, IceX. We saw some good plays from then. Selim on top of the actual building when we saw it on Erangel, just absolutely mowing everyone down in front of him. It was a
lucky shift for them over in the Milta finish that we saw yesterday. Really good stuff from them though to hold it down. They had the overlook. You have to capitalize on it. But let's take a look at the total scoreboard coming in. Of course, Unique topping it out 98, almost breaking the 3 digits, but not quite.
The funny thing about Unique is they actually have more kill points than placement points by 2, which is completely unheard of in any of the regions that we've currently casted so far. Everyone else on this list, obviously, placement points making up the bulk of their actual points here. Interestingly enough, I think that if we're looking at Group A and Group C today, what we can say is that Group A has probably got most dominant teams. We have some super interesting teams from Group C. In particular, I'm looking at FROMHELL, who are just the road warriors. That they see you and they're in a convoy, they're going to come after you with an absolute vengeance. And obviously, some of the rest of the team, BidIce, they did really well on Sandhawk, but then suddenly kind of fell off again. So it feels like those guys, the Jungle Warriors, unfortunately, they won't be able to go over the jungle today because we are playing Vikendi for second.
Yeah, a couple of these teams as well having a good shout. Deformia Meditari, of course, also qualifying for that preliminary stage for the global region. Not quite able to get through that competition, but they still got there. They still got that global experience on board, so hopefully they'll be able to make that work for them. As we hit the middle of the tables, we're seeing 20 and above be out of the red zone. Of course, if you're sat down in the bottom 8, you are in very much danger of being relegated out of these group stages, and that's when no one wants to be sat in the red zone.
Well, not at all, John. Not at all whatsoever. I think the major thing for me, right, is that what we're seeing right now, and this is from other regions as well, is we're at that 30-point average for everyone at the moment seems to be very much safe. So what we're seeing is like it's about 15 points average a day that you want to keep up with. Here we have our kills leaderboard. Obviously, Team Unique, despite not playing yesterday, still have 3 members on the board.
Yep.
Eclipse, though, from Dream Eaters, although they weren't on the top of the leaderboard when it comes to overall score, Eclipse has been absolutely putting in the work.
Yeah. With 4 games played for each of these teams so far, this is a relatively representative fragging board. So it's nice to see that Unique just consistently being there. I imagine they still have one of their players just off to the right of this, so just outside the top 5. They were top in the charts in their day, but we'll have to see if they're going to continue to go for that streak as they continue to move forwards. Of course, the first map we've got up today, Erangel.
Yeah, the El Clasico map. So far, what we've seen from it is a lot of finishes towards the circle that runs just through the northern side of the map, which is causing a lot of difficulties for certain teams so far, where they've got to make the decision whether to cross early or wait around on the southern bank or on the north bank. We are going to head over the game very shortly now, just waiting to get into that airplane and get the parachutes out and ready to drop down into that wonderful match.
Sure, they're all nicely folded, nice and neat.
Yeah, it takes a little while, guys. Yeah.
You don't want to have you don't want to have creases in your parachute, because quite frankly, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, if someone sees that, if I saw that on my way down, I'd be like,
I would be mortified.
This player absolutely does not know what he's doing when it comes to handling an iron.
No class.
No class whatsoever. But yeah, we are going to get into the plane very shortly. I think for me right now, I want to see if Asterion continue have those good games. They showed us that they had the oomph, they had the manpower to make it through yesterday on day 1, sorry. Let's see if they can do it again today. As you can see, we're getting the little run through of the map on your screen right now. Quite a large map, probably towards the middling of all the maps we currently have, Miramar obviously being the biggest. We are going to get the plane path now. It is going to be going over from Mini Milter all the way up to shooting range, southerly, so southeasterly to about that north and west area on the top side of the map, John.
Having a decent path there. Not too many places can't be dropped at on this stage. Certainly no super popular locations. So everyone should be pretty happy with this one. Of course, all of these teams will have played this map twice in this current tournament, but not against necessarily the other group. They'll have a bit of an idea how the lay of the land's going to go, however. They should have done their research from the previous day. Novo might be a little bit of a hot drop here, as a couple of teams might opt to go for it, but it looks like only one has made the break for the military island, and that's going to be Ultra.
Indeed. A massive early drop here from the majority of the teams, just dropping out of the plane. Pachinki, looks like Asterion are heading over that way. FROMHELL also.
You've got Yasnaya being targeted by 2 teams, it looks like. Maybe a third opting to go out there. We did have the FUTBOLISTs dropping down near Shelter and splitting their forces. Looks like the other half are going towards Rosok. Just for the time being, they could split off and go somewhere else, but they are 2-2 at the moment, so we'll see if that comes back to bite them. A couple of players heading out west, but that looks to be just the competition for Pachinki as the circle zones us into the northeast. So most of these teams are going to be just fine here.
Yeah. Ultra Team pretty much have military base all to themselves there. And because of the way the plane back actually came through, what you're going to see is the Ultra Team have a pretty easy circuit up past Very Pier, up past Gatka, because it'll all be very, very clear for them. So they're going to get some nice loot and also a pretty easy insertion into the circle too. Asterion Myth currently in Pachinki here with M19. Vying for the position itself. Pachinki obviously massively good for loot. No Rage. Lutz already looking for Cream Esports. Last over here, who does just duck around the corner in the last second, surviving.
Aggressive certainly is the name of the game in Europe, and it's not going to stop now. Last is there. Don't know if he has a gun. I think he's got a nade. He's got a pistol as well.
Boys.
He's dropping it around. He's cooked it already. Opts to go out to the right. Not going to be able to find it. A little bit of damage found, actually. So, you know, the nade did at least something, but not too much.
Just wondering where the rest of his team is right now, to be honest with you.
No, we're bloody near him, is he?
No, you've absolutely dropped in the wrong location there, son. So maybe an accidental tap on the screen. Very unfortunate, but we are still back here now again with Asterion. Asterion Myth, M19. Pro Lord as himself. Pretty decent spot over here. SLR in hand.
Everyone's actually relatively spread out. The FUTBOLISTs, they did start to loot out on Shelter, and it seems like that's where they opted to get 2 of their guys looted up. The rest of the squad are in between Rozhok and Yasnaya, so they are going to have to find a little bit of compound and get a vehicle so they can rotate away if they need to, because of course you've got FROMHELL, you've got Deformia Meditari, you've got Pro as well. Oh wait, no, hang on a minute. Is that Pro? That is Pro. And here is Ice, also occupying Yasnaya. So there's threats from all of these angles coming in, and we'll have to see who's going to go for it. 3 teams over out west in Georgia Pole, 1 up north. Of course, that's Magic, the Romania team, and the reigning champions Unique are going to be in South George. Ultra team, the only other team outside of the next circle, of course, playing on Sosnovka military base.
Yeah, you can see FUTBOLIST now coming together. I think they probably could have stuck apart for a little bit longer, but because there's a circle dropping here, they understand that everyone's going to be coming over this way very, very shortly, so they need to regroup and do it quite quickly. But they are heading up to FROMHELL and Heroes IceX. Both teams pretty terrifying. Cream Esports also making their way up towards Mansion. Got Heroes IceX on your screen for you now. They are just looking about, trying to see if they can find the other team who are occupying this compound. Unique, very split up, very confident, not a care in the world. They're just going to loot all these crates, get it done.
Fair enough. I mean, they know they have the fragging power behind them, so anyone who steps to them, they feel confident they can take it down. The thing is, at range, if you take one of these guys down, they can just crawl into the crates themselves, and the rest of the squad can rally around them, protect those angles. They'll know exactly where they're coming from as well, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. And they should be able to get the res off. It will isolate 2 players away from the rest of the fight, but even then, Unique are still really a hell to deal with, to be honest.
Yeah. You've got KUMA just on the bottom of your screen there. No Rage also have moved down. Looks like they've got themselves some decent vehicles as well, so they will be able to rotate around the map very, very easily. Immortals on the northern side this time. Instead of deciding to stay out in the circle for basically all game, this time they've decided to firmly plant themselves within it, which is good to see.
Certainly is. Get right in the middle. Have to rotate a little bit less distance on the next circle, on the next pop. Of course, the first circle closing now isn't really too much of a go time for a lot of these teams. It's slow enough, it doesn't do enough damage to hurry anyone up beyond their natural pacing of looting, finding vehicles, and heading away. You can see Ultra, they've loaded up. They're going to be heading away from Sosnovka at the moment. It looks like they're going to be opting to go to the east bridge straight into the zone, but no Rage. They seem to have found themselves a fight onto KUMA, but they haven't found any shots.
That seemed like a very easy spray there for Lutz, but Joker's able to make it round the corner. KUMA are going to be very aware of a team just behind them on the east side, and they are just going to completely just run away from it. They don't want anything to do it, not knowing that it's pretty much just Lutz and Billy currently here. The rest of the team is split away from them, so that was a fight that KUMA could potentially take. Currently Coffin and Helios, not in hot pursuit. They will call this one a cold pursuit. Stop it right here.
Certainly cooling off.
Yeah.
They're still aware of it, but you know.
Actually, are now taking shots.
Well, yeah, there's there's an aerial position being taken from them, so they might still continue to try and get something in the fight, but it's super long range, and it's long range enough that it's going to be very, very difficult to actually land any of those shots.
Both these teams have to be worried, though, John, because Ultra Team now coming up from military base is going to be very, very geared, as opposed to KUMA and No Rage, who have been wandering out for quite a long time, despite coughing, having a Kar 98K on board.
He's only got the 2X on it, though, so it's not super deadly at range just yet.
No. It's a bit of a close-range sniper, if there ever was one to be called that.
Well, if you hit the shots, it's essentially a shotgun, right?
Yeah. A shotgun that makes only... It's just the one bullet blowing out from that one.
It's like a slug.
Yeah.
It's a slug gun.
Just one slug.
Yeah.
I mean...
A gun.
A gun.
It's a gun.
Nice. It shoots things.
Well, hopefully, anyway. That's the idea. Has to aim it right, though. And with the 2X, it's going to be difficult to do at range. Hopefully, they'll be able to change out those sights with something else in the times to come. But Ultra seem to have just rolled straight on past and actually might crash over into Cream.
I love how pathetic this vehicle looks. It just makes them look so silly on board.
Yeah, it's super exposed. It's
We're
the most
coming
dangerous.
to the circle,
it's the
guys.
most dangerous vehicle to rotate in.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because
I mean,
everybody's exposed. It does have a little bit of speed, but as soon as you hit a bump, it's so difficult to control. It's so unpredictable.
Yeah, just
wow.
Grand old job, boys.
Nice one.
Yeah, so they do make it in. No Rage once again following KUMA around. KUMA just can't quite seem to get rid of them.
They're lost puppies, are they? Are they not? No Rage. Over in Milta they are, but the rest of the teams starting to zone in. Still only 2 towards Yasnaya. Teams who were in Rostock have left. They've headed out east, and actually there's a little bit of a clash with FROMHELL over there. The Futbolists still haven't quite met up, but they're very close to each other, separated at the moment by a squad in the middle of them, by M19.
Loot crate directly between them as well, so they could go for that. Now KUMA setting up in the warehouse, so these teams are getting far close to each other. Billy on the watch right now. FROMHELL does take down Infinity. Nade comes through. You can make it through the top of the roof there. Does he hit it? Yes,
one goes in. Oh, that's a lot of
no
nades.
hits though. Here comes the heavy ordnance. Round the side, just a barrage of nades and a smoke, just for good measure. That will allow them to actually enter though.
They're going to be pushed out the back, and actually, yeah, No Rage Coffin has the angle on it. They completely zone it away. Joker gets confirmed. A nice pickup for them.
Yeah, like I said, they just cannot get rid of No Rage whatsoever. So it looks like they are splitting up this time. You see Schlumpy going all the way off to the eastern side of them.
Will No Rage follow it out? That's the question. Will they mount up yet again to try and hop along? KUMA have managed to get away with that one with 3 players still alive, so they should be all right. Unique have made the rotation from from South George Crates all the way to the north of the lake near Yasnaya, in the foothills of Stalber Hill, where Immortals currently sit at the top. A lot of teams, though, moving towards Yasnaya and the fields below it.
Strong position, a lot of nice little compounds down there as well, and the opportunity to head on up and rotate over to Heaven. It's a really good spot should the circle come a little bit more to the south. FROMHELL currently in a firefight with the Deformia Meditari. Punisher's got the angle on the left-hand side. Thompson potentially trying to look for him here, but you would have thought Punisher can see his little legs peeking out. Go for the kneecaps.
Can't be doing without those. You do need your kneecaps.
You do need them.
It's pretty useful, to be honest. Did you know, actually, babies are born without kneecaps?
Actually, I did know this.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't
I
it?
was really confused. I was like, but what's in the space where the kneecaps currently are not?
Nothing. Nothing is there.
That weirds me out.
And then as you grow, a little cartilage cap forms called the kneecap. I think it's called, what is it, a patella or something? No, it's not the patella, is it? I can't remember exactly what it's called. But there you go. There's a fun little fact.
Fun facts with John.
So babies don't need kneecaps, but these players probably do.
I think you'd be really mean if you shot a baby in the kneecap. Or where his kneecaps were.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't shoot a baby in the
You just can't do it.
It's impossible.
Yeah. White does go down to a nice grenade over the top.
FROMHELL competing for this compound with Deformia Meditari. I'm surprised neither of these squads have just bugged out, to be honest. You don't really need to take the fight, and quite frankly, it's not the best of compounds moving into the next circle. So maybe not the best idea to go for it, because you can see they're already taking damage.
Oh, Thompson might have the flank here. Going right around the side, will have the angle on all of them.
Oh, I think he's spotted.
Does walk away from it, though. Currently, Rob Deeney on the top does get the jump on them. Doesn't hit anyone and takes a lot of shots himself. Has he not noticed the guys coming through the door?
I think his teammate has. White is there. The drop down is coming through as well as FROMHELL just flush it all out. Only one player left standing for Deformia Meditari.
We've got 3 players doing the exact same thing here. Nade comes down the side. This is going to be perfectly tossed. That's got to get him right. No!
Oh my goodness me.
Does not. He's just out of range of it to prevent himself from dying.
He didn't get the res either. Kind of God just running away as fast as his little legs will carry him.
Yeah. Takes himself to the floor. Thompson now running around. A lot of the team's very healthy for FROMHELL, so they're absolutely going to be able to finish this guy.
Surprised there's another DP out, but he goes out he pops, and that's going to be it. Out in 16th, it's Deformia Meditari.
Indeed. Not blind, don't worry boys, that is Deformia Meditari that. FROMHELL did a really good job to take that fight. They were very patient with it. Sure, they got the nades through, but then Thompson gathering a lot of information. Ultra Team.
The next circle, by the way,
leave the compound.
Has popped all the way over to the northeast of the circle. It's on the other side of Yasnaya Poliana, which means that a lot of those teams down to the southwest, including FROMHELL, including M19, will have to try and make a rotation to try and have that. Immortals atop the hill are sitting pretty for now, but they will have to move probably on the next circle down the hill. A lot of really nice terrain for them to play down, though. There's a lot of ridge lines that they can jump between, that they can control, they can hold down, but everybody else is going to be vying for a little bit of that as well. You've got the FUTBOLIST, you've got Unique as well, trying to find something there.
Unique, though, going up on the clockwise rotation towards Stauber. Maybe trying to evict Immortal from their position on top of the mountain, claim it for their own. M19 make an even wider rotation just past Severny. Heroes Ice just trying to give grief to everyone who's passing here. But they are still in the circle, so they can quite happily stay here, but it is just outside.
They shouldn't be rotating all in the same vehicle. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is not a good idea. All stacking up means if the vehicle goes bang, you go bye-bye, and so do your points into this game. Fortunately enough for them, they do find an empty compound, so they will be okay, but when they mount up yet again, they're only going to have one vehicle.
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about just then. The clockwise rotation for Unique coming absolutely through as they just flood onto them on the top of Stauber here. Still going to be worried about M19, who are coming up from the backside, so they'll have to finish this fight with Immortal fairly quickly, but we've already one player down. Unique looking really good here to just control this ridge side.
Rebro has a little bit of an angle on some of these players. I don't know if they spotted it, but Old Boy might have thrown an aid on. Huge!
Oh my god!
That was impeccable. That was incredible trajectory. And with it, Unique can now continue to move on forwards. You can see why this guy is one of the top fraggers in the world.
Just plants it right on the top side of the rock. Almost as if he just covered the nade in sticky tape.
Kobe.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Now, 2 members from Immortal removed. If you're Immortal right now, you just don't have the manpower to control this hill. Now the M19 are coming up behind you too, so you need to be worried about that. FUTBOLIST now all together. Just coalesce towards the loot crate. Romania Team.
Unique are making a rotation now around their ridgeline that they currently have. They're protected down from the bottom of the hill, and they can make this move now. So Immortals, they are really, really going to struggle here. Old Boy playing on the off angle, choosing to wait behind just that little bit. Everybody else just spotting out, trying to find anything that they can see. M19 will eventually run into them, and the hill is going to be zoned in on yet again a hard northern shift, and Unique looking really good here now.
Unique have done this so many times, though, where they'll batter and bruise a team, but they won't finish them, and then they'll begin their next rotation. And it's really, really smart because they're favoring having 4 members in that last circle rather than taking a really long fight and trying to remove an entire team. They have set up some really nice cover there with the actual vehicles. As they take down M19, one player goes down. It is Thanos. Lightning just blasts down the hill. Call that man McQueen.
Certainly moving like lightning, as you say. Thanos, they've pretty much abandoned him. No way that they're going to challenge this. Immortal's still up top the hill, though, so they do need to be careful. Another kill goes over to Unique, however. Now 3 kills on the board. Only 11 kills so far in the lobby, so a decent proportion for them so far. Magic actually making their way onto this hillside as well. They're going to be challenging the dominance of Unique up top, but FROMHELL now in a fight.
Whoa, hello, White. Entered the fight with an absolutely explosive entrance there. Zessi now coming from behind, does get hit by a nade. goes into the house. Tron down 2. I believe Zesty is the only one remaining up now. Everyone else currently down. Goes for the revive. This is a very predictable nade, though.
Will they be able to throw it in? That's the question. Or will they bide their time? They have 2 reses to get to over there in the top. Everyone else now looking for their own slice of the pie as we move into the next zone. Uncharacteristically tame set of rotations so far from Europe. It's really nice to see that they've calmed it down a little bit. Unique, though, I would say, are in the strongest spot. If Magic can't displace them, that is. They do have to push in just a little bit further. Oh. M19 have moved down to the hill to the east, but there's so many teams on this southeastern side that it's going to be very tricky to find your footing.
This is very upsetting for Futbolists because even if they try and get a good position on the top of this roof here, they will be immediately spotted by Kitsune, who will just land the shots into them. Interesting position from Zessi, right on the top of the stairs. Definitely unexpected if you went up there.
Nice nade. Might actually find something if he's lucky, but don't think it's going to get too much. I don't think he cooked it for very long at all.
Grenade coming from Rob Danini. Goes all the way up. Actually, I don't think he threw it at all. Put it back in the pocket. I'm not sure how you do that when you take the pin out.
Pop the pin back in. That's what you got to do. M19 taking a lot of fight.
That's Kitsune, actually. That's Kitsune actually firing it down from on the mountain.
Yeah.
Rob Danini actually almost got that nade through, but sadly had to drop back inside, and the trajectory was off because of it.
That smoke might allow Futbolists to actually push outside just a little bit and maybe look down on FROMHELL, but up goes Thompson. He's now up the stairs. He's into the small building. We'll see what he's getting. Oh, look at this. Rob Danini has the nade in. That might just be able to find something. Damage is there, and there he goes. And our sheet goes down. And now it's just Zezzy. Left, last man standing for the Futbolists. In comes the push from Hell, running it in. Was that a smoke? Was that a nade? I'm not too sure, but he just goes down.
Nice nade there from Hell. Really well done.
Yeah.
KUMA currently in a fight with Exclusive. Sushi does get taken out of the way. Zana also down now. This is not good for KUMA. They actually rotate all the way up. Schlumpy, the only one left. That will be KUMA all out now.
Wow, the next circle as well, doing wonders for Unique's position. At the moment, though, Magic and Immortals at their back need to be contested with. They need to be dethroned. FROMHELL, their garage is still in the next zone, but everybody else is going to have to move, is going to have to push in and try and play around these cliff faces.
Yep, Pro in a fight with Heroes IceX now. It is Sun HP will take down Mario Hopper. Soulish putting in the work. We saw this guy yesterday doing a really good job of it. Now Yasha controlling the hill up on high. Silas, another one down from Pro. Nade comes over the top. Will bounce off the side. Does it go down to Master?
Oh, did damage.
He's going to next.
He did cook it. Got it in time. Looks for another. Not going to find the damage this time around. He's going to drop on down. That should be a spray under the vehicle. Gets one knock. And that was actually a nade coming in from Old Boy. This guy is on point with these nades today.
Going for the flush here. He actually just tosses the nade in. Finish the job.
I mean, sure, why not? Not too sure I actually finished it there. So just Alin left now for Magic. Actually, no, that's not true. They have Naya in the center of the circle as well. Still live and kicking, but M19 finding those spots. Unique holding it down now. They're taking the fight, but Rogue falls. M19 looking to try and dethrone Ultra as well.
Yeah. A couple of players from Unique now down. Yasha very low. Old Boy drops up, gets the spray onto Cuts. But Immortals get a little bit of vengeance here from earlier. This is what happens when you don't finish off a team. I think Unique stayed in the vicinity of the team that they tried to remove from the mountain for a little bit too long. Sure, it's a great position, but you've got to finish off the snakes in the back. Excellent grenade there.
That's horrible for Unique. They lose a player, I believe. That's Kitsune going down. Yasha is downed as well. Down to Old Boy and Rogue. Oh, Immortals take a little bit of a fight. You don't really want to be doing that. There is the sidelines to be worried about, though. He hits the deck. He knows exactly how to handle it. Rogue has healed up now. Out comes, I believe that to be a smoke. Not too sure that that's going to be a nade, but it's Old Boy. He's the guy you want left standing if you're Unique, though. Is he going to be able to do it? That's the question. Needs to stand up, needs to stand tall as his teammates do fall. Yasha falls as well. It is just Old Boy now.
Romania Team making their way up from Hell. Actually does a little bit of damage onto Bit Ice. Those are ones who were assaulting Unique before, so Old Boy flanking them from afar. Romania Team actually making it up there, taking a lot of damage onto Ultra Team. Just squeezed himself back into the circle.
It goes to
Monic
the top of the hill
right in
again.
front of Magic, does not see them, gets behind the rock. I don't think he notices the player on the other side there. He just swings by.
Oh dear, unfortunate for him. Unfortunate turn up for the books. The zone goes up and Unique is going to go out. Old Boy goes down to bit ice. The zone moved northwest again on the foothills, on the side of this mountain. They're going to find themselves having to push on up. About 4 teams need to make their way in, but that's going to drop down pretty soon. FROMHELL, by the way, still 4 players left in their squad. Really, really strong for them.
Yeah, Evo Station will finish off Ultra there. Now Romania Team can start to make their way up. FROMHELL having a crazy good game so far. Evo Station attempting anyway in vehicle, but Sonny will spot that.
Is he going to get the spray? That's the question. He does need to land it if he wants to stop that rotation, but the rest of the squads aren't going to be too happy about it. FROMHELL, they have managed to make their way into a little bit of cover. The ridge just to the side of this road is going to be their only real source. They've got a couple of trees to play around. There's a rock too far to the back to be in the next zone, but they can use it for now. Seems like they're going to be looting up, though, on a set of bodies that they will be able to find. A couple of meds, bit of ammo on the restock. Should be good to go. All 4 of them armed to the teeth.
Making fast work of it as well. Set up a couple of vehicles up there which they most likely will destroy. As you can see right ahead of them, creating a massive scrapyard. Might not be useful for a mechanic, but definitely useful for them in terms of cover.
Look at the spread out that we're seeing from Magic. Really nice to see them playing relatively separate. They are actually controlling a decent size of the map.
11 kills for FROMHELL so far. Nayat goes down, looks to finish him from a different side. Deuces just can't do it.
There's your spread actually coming back to bite you. They won't be able to respond too well. Romania Team actually take that one away, so not another kill coming in from FROMHELL.
Alan takes that M19. I think that's M19 now out of it. Romania Team, Magic, Immortals, and FROMHELL all left, but FROMHELL looking so healthy. Look like they've just come back from a trip to the doctors.
Trying to displace Immortals from the top, who have survived. They landed all the way over at Stalbel. They've only had to push about 300 meters down the hill. And they've been all right. 2 of them still left standing. FROMHELL, though, they're going to take the fight with them, see if they can wipe them from the top of the hill.
Smoke off the side of the tree. In comes the crate. Can provide some cover if Sonny can crawl up here, but he's crawling through very open ground, and you'd imagine that someone from Immortals or FROMHELL would see him.
Immortals have a tiny little ridgeline to be playing in. This is a nade. This is nade central, and we're top to getting the angle on it. There's no way they last this long. 2 more kills in the bag for FROMHELL. Now they have just 2 wildcard players left to go against them. Make that 1, as it's just Alan with a hell of a task to do. 1 versus 4. The Road Warriors mount up.
Really, pretty much a nice and easy game. When they want to finish again in the vehicle, Alan goes down. Excellent job.
Nicely done. FROMHELL controlling the ground like no other. A really nice spread of kills as well. It leaves them on, I think that's, what's that? That's 13 kills total. Sorry, no, more than that. That's 15 kills total coming in for them. A really nicely played game.
Yeah, 35 points total is absolutely massive. We've seen basically teams who are in that 16th position on the leaderboard with only 35 points in the bag anyway. And FROMHELL, it had some good games yesterday, and now this is making for another one. Team Unique, I think they were a little bit bold to think that they could dismember it, basically cut a team in half and then leave them up there and then stay down there too.
Yeah, they had so many spanners in the works to be playing with. They did come a cropper in the end on just that. M19, though, I have to mention them. They managed to get 10 kills, placing 5th. A really nice spot for them to be in. They'll be pretty happy with that, but FROMHELL able to claim the chicken dinner and push themselves a little bit further up the tables as it comes to it. It's unfortunate first blood for Cream, or against Cream, I should say.
Yeah, I think really here now, for FROMHELL, they are pretty securely placed to go into the semi-finals.
I think really you just need a very good game like this, and you almost secure your position. Especially now that we're getting into day 3. Teams like Team Unique, they're very much not big front now at this point. They're going to the semi-finals.
Yeah, I would imagine that it's highly likely that they will just get there unless they just completely feed the rest of their games and just go down in 16th every single time.
Yeah. Even so,
even then, it would be pretty difficult for some of these teams maybe to go up against them. Although that would open up another spot for another team to have a little bit more points on board. So it does, you know, anything can change. But I think you're right. I think the way that Unique are playing, I don't think they're going to be taken down anytime soon. Hopefully, we'll be seeing a lot more from them.
Yeah, but one thing to note as we come in off just the back of this match one is that the rotations and the play from Europe has drastically been changing the past couple of days. We've just seen so much improvement day after day.
Yeah.
It seems that this practice that a lot of these teams are getting, obviously we're playing 4 matches a day, is really doing a lot of wonders for them.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it on the first day. It was incredibly chaotic. So much going on that shouldn't have happened. And today, that's reduced, you know, tenfold. You know, you're seeing 1 or 2 questionable things happen. Maybe, you know, Unique leaving some teams alive when they could have flushed them out and gone for those kill points, potentially. Things like that. But that's small decisions, right? That's not just weird stuff like Kitsune going out in the blue for 5 hours.
Oh, yeah. So here we got a scoreboard on hand. Magic going in on second, so they secure those 14 points. M19 with a whopping 10 kills. Almost catching up to FROMHELL. Everyone else not doing so great in the kill department.
No.
Team Unique only with 6.
Yeah, they are a little bit underperforming compared to the rest of their shots, but they are going to get 8 points nonetheless, and that's going to see them over the 3-digit mark in the table. So it's going to put them on 101 points. They were on 93 before this game. So now it's everyone else's turn to try and step up as well. The second half of this table, Deformia Meditari going down first. They only get 1 point for themselves as well.
Deformia Meditari just doing well at all in this tournament.
No, not at all. They aren't quite able to get it done. They had such dominance in the group stages last time around. And yet again, oh, hang on a minute. No, they were on 98 last time, weren't they? Not 93.
Yeah. FROMHELL with current score of 69. Nice. Asterion Myth 72. FUTBOLIST at 73. Team Unique up there with 30-point lead from the second place of 106.
They're actually still leading their placement points by kill points, and actually they've opened that lead by 4. It was 2 before.
Yeah. FROMHELL, though, very happy with this team. We saw them yesterday. Just as the matches progressed, they got better and better and better. There are still some mistakes here and there that we're seeing them make, but coming off the back of that win, it looks like they're really getting that confidence on board to continue playing really strong.
BitIce as well, sat in 9th place currently, getting themselves, of course, that chicken dinner yesterday. Should be pretty happy with that one. Deformia Meditari, though, they still have one of those chicken dinners on board, sat in 17th.
It's the majority of their points.
This is the red zone, you're seeing 20 points and below after, well, 4 or 5 games. Immortals really not going to be happy with this. 18 points, they've played 5 matches already. They do need to work at getting those scores up because, quite frankly, they're not performing as well as they'd like to at the moment. But with that game, Old Boy sat atop yet again. He reclaims the title of top fragger.
Yeah, Rob Deeney as well, 15 kills total, doing a massively good job for his team on FROMHELL. And now we only have 2 Unique boys on the leaderboard. Evo Station as well. For M19, they made that really long clockwise rotation over the top of Stalber. Excellent work from them.
Nice to see. Fantastic stuff. Starting to break these 20 kill points per player. Unique very much within striking distance. Of course, next map we're going to be going over to Vikendi. So it's a little bit different, a little bit more different of a style, right?
Yeah, very much different style, but this provides a lot more security to these teams because Vikendi's so heavy compound-based, right? So it allows you to link up your rotations from one place to the next. A lot of times on Sandhawk, you're moving from rock to rock. Here you have the luxury of moving from maybe building to building.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see if they're able to orchestrate their crashes well, because that's really the name of the game here on, well, there on Vikendi.
Indeed. Anyway, we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back with you for match 2 very shortly, so don't go anywhere. See you soon. Oh my god, they're really going for them.
It's Mad Max. Here he goes, throwing into the spray. There's
Look
2
at this.
vehicles.
Oh,
he gets him out
Run him
again.
down,
Gets
son.
the second, goes to the run over, but no, it's just straight onto the hay bales, fly straight on forwards. 1 goes down.
What's that noise as they just see FROMHELL just circling around and round? Here comes the rush from No Rage. Billy and Helios both down. Coffin and Lutz, they're just going to rock up a little bit closer. I feel like Billy and Helios a little bit slow on that. Aiming, get up into position behind the trees, behind some hard cover. You maybe let the game get away from you. Oh god, this could be one hell of an A. Goes around the side.
That's nice to cut. Very
Really
nice, Bobby.
cut. Nice jump, nice try, but Bobby doesn't take any damage.
Can't dodge a bullet for that long, unfortunately. Will fall out, and that's just going to be one player for Romania Team and one player for KUMA. Left standing, Tabsy and Magic will be there, and Magic's out in the open in the sight lines of FROMHELL, and will just be shut out. So that's going to go down. Forwards.
Yeah, and they will spot him as soon as he go past that position as
Whoa,
well.
whoa!
Whoa, what a nade!
There's the bouncer.
Right through. Zana's pretty much done. Selim must have seen that. Moves away across. Doesn't find him. Hero Ice absolutely deserved the winner. Chicken dinner there for them.
PUBG Mobile Team Deathmatch. Anytime, anywhere. There is a better choice. PUBG Mobile Team Deathmatch. A quick game for those short breaks. There is a better choice. PUBG Mobile Team Deathmatch. Endless respawn, endless fun. There is a better choice.
Hello there, welcome back to the PMCO 2019 for the European region. NEX is our sponsor for today. If you want to play PUBG Mobile with more immersive, more powerful and most outstanding performance possible, you need to get yourself an NEX phone on brand.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to be taking on some of the best, like Team Unique, then you do need to be in with the best kit in, to sort you out.
Man. If you want to be able to do what Immortals just did to them, which is not at all enjoyable to watch.
Run away from them and not be pursued.
Yeah, well, that's what they did, right? They got away.
That is.
They were the one who got away.
They did get away, and they actually placed really highly. So nicely done by them, I guess. Nice strategy.
Yeah. I mean, really for me, it was Unique just not finishing off a team. And although I praised them for it, really when they do it, usually they go away from that position afterwards, right?
Well, the issue was that so many more teams tried to come and compete for the same spot. So in the end, it didn't really go their way. But
that's pretty bad.
Yeah. I think they undervalued the position that they had, because if you have a strong position, you want to make sure nobody else is near it, because you don't want multiple people pushing you all at once, which is essentially what happened. So I think they maybe undervalued the spot they had.
I think that maybe what we could have seen was possibly them moving off to that western side, the side that FROMHELL actually took, which is where they were really calm about it in the end. Though FROMHELL, we characterized them as a very aggressive team. They were sorting out every single vehicle that they had in the first place, make sure they had a nice bit of cover available to them before they actually intended on making that push up to Immortals and cleared them out, and then took out Romania Team and afterwards Magic. So it was actually very smart, calculated play from Hell in the end. From FROMHELL.
There's two froms in there, I think. We could just cut one out and just pretend that it never happened.
Yeah, true. We could do. I'm not good at that.
Let's move away from that.
Yeah, let's move away from FROMHELL.
No, from FROMHELL.
From FROMHELL. I see.
We're moving away from something anyway.
But yeah, really, really good game. Really, really fun. We are going to move over to Vikendi now, as we were talking about before. This is a map that it's tough terrain, hard to rotate across. Luckily, the map is really, really tiny, so you can rotate just via walking. Anyway, we actually have seen some players in other regions opting to take the different route, which is just straight through the water. So hopefully we don't see too much of that today, because swimming is not good for you, especially in Vikendi where it's very cold.
No, really, it does. You do need your thermals on. You really do.
Yeah.
You don't want to be catching frostbite. Not around this time of year.
No. Especially if you lose your trigger finger. That's the worst.
Yeah, I suppose.
You suppose?
Do you think that's the worst finger to lose?
Worst finger to lose? Yeah, probably this one.
Is the thumb a finger?
No.
Okay, because I would say that the thumb is a finger.
No.
And that would be the worst thing.
Oh, you've angered a lot of people in chat right now.
No, because all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs.
Well, do you know what else you need your thumbs for? You need your thumbs for playing PUBG Mobile. And if you also want to play a bit of PUBG Mobile, you can download it on the Google Play App Store and the iOS App Store as well. And if you don't want to miss a beat on the action of the European region, you can keep up to date on the YouTube channel for PUBG Mobile Esports, which is probably one you're either watching on now or on Twitch. So definitely subscribe and drop a like below. We'll catch you guys around. But if you want to watch some more PUBG, you can just stick around now. We got 3 more matches ahead of us.
Big thumbs up in the chat for that one. Yeah, we're going to be seeing quite a few more games today. Of course, A and C groups taking each other on. After that, we'll see B and D tomorrow as well. So we'll be up to 8 games, and we'll be 2/3 of the way through our setup of the group stages, and we'll get a much clearer picture at the end of tomorrow as to where everyone's going to sit, because then everyone will have played a decent chunk of games.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll know exactly where everyone should be on the leaderboard or in relation to one another, and then we'll head over to the semi-finals and figure out exactly which teams will make it through. For the time being, like we said, for Vikendi, very, very shortly on your screens. Is there any teams that we should be looking at in particular here, John?
I think it's going to be the same old story. We're looking at Unique, really, as at the top. FUTBOLIST, they really had a, I would say, lackluster performance in that previous map. We'll be looking out for them as well. It's really just the top of the leaderboards that I'm looking at. I don't think anything dramatic will come into play. And with the capability and the aggressive style of a lot of these teams in Europe, I think that we're going to see a pretty similar result start to come together.
That's just the trumpet. If you could hear that, that's just the trumpets that the production team have, and that's how they announce that they're getting into game.
Yeah, we don't actually have any audio cues. They just blow trumpets.
We listen to the trumpets, and then we're like, there we go, we're getting into game. There it is. There you go.
Fantastic. That's it. Sound of the trumpets. What you want to see?
It's the sound
Or
of
hear?
It's the sound of the underground.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no underground system here in Vikendi,
No.
unfortunately. Makes it a little bit harder to get around. If there was, maybe rotations would be a little bit easier. You know, you just hop on the tube,
It'd
just
be
go
really
to the
nice.
other side.
Yeah, it'd be really, really quick to get around with.
Yeah.
It's a very nice plane skin. I'm not gonna lie, it's even animated. I'm
It's nice,
really
isn't it?
jealous. I want
That is pretty cool. Look at that.
Yeah. Anyway, plane path coming up on screen very shortly. It's pretty central, straight from the south to the north, from Cantra to Cosmodrome. So quite a lot of areas available to the teams. We'll see where the circle does pop as we watch everyone jump out, parachute on down. M19, very, very early drop. Dropping in towards the winery.
The eastern plane, it should just be fine, to be honest. But with the eastern circle, it's not going to be that much. That's not going to be that great for everybody heading out west, which actually is the majority of teams. So anyone heading towards Dobromesto might drop short and try and contest for Garoka, and so they can turn around and get that rotation on. Castle might be a decent spot to hold, but it's going to be difficult to exit for any teams who do try and take it. So it is a very, very big risk to try and get that position already. Wow, okay. Looks like Futbolists have lost a player already.
Really?
Yeah.
I've only just dropped.
They already have lost a player. I'm just trying to track where they are. I think they're over towards Villa.
Yeah, I think they're in between. Oh, it's versus unique, so unsurprising. Solke over here, just chilling out inside the shed. He's got a couple of monsters right ahead of him. Most teams probably rotate quite soon, but obviously the map being so very small, all in all, they can do it pretty late. Heroes Ice also having a little firefight over there. That's Solke down. That's nice and easy for unique team.
Yeah, they're just going to be able to clean it up. 2 kills already, so a nice early setup for what could be the start of something great, but it still have a long way to go. FROMHELL taking the same compound as Asterion Myth. Asterion Myth, if they all move together, they might be able to get the drop on one of these FROMHELL players, but if Poser goes alone into the waiting arms of
Deuces.
Deuces? Is that Deuces?
I think it says Deuces, yeah.
Yeah, Deuces 4H. Deuces?
Deuces four-hander. That's how he does. He's got 4 hands.
Or is it 4-head? Well, we'll see if he
We'll see.
makes this play. Feels like they do know what's up, though. FROMHELL, you can see them starting to flank in and rotate. Don't think he wants to stick around too long. Should be very worried about this. Volts out the window and away. Asterion Myth there just in time.
Ooh. He's going to be very pleased with that one.
Should be.
And White actually claps back onto Lunatic too. Deuce is like, maybe actually I go back in.
Well, he repositions as well. So they've got her down. They might just want to disengage this. They might not. We'll have to wait and see. Lunatic getting rezzed up on the balcony.
Looks like they have a lot of meds as well available to Asterion, so they can have a prolonged fight here. Not ideal for them, of course, because they want to save those meds for towards the later game, but they want to continue to fight with FROMHELL. FROMHELL will actually give it back to them. One of our most aggressive teams in the region. Currently, everyone just hanging around on the eastern cliffs of Vikendi.
So what we're probably going to see here is on these rotations when people start to move in, is everybody try and pack in very centrally. What you want to do on Vikendi is try and just keep everybody together. The tighter you are to the center of the circle, the less you're going to have to rotate. And with the compound style of play, that's hugely valuable because leaving a compound is very, very tricky. It's a lot harder than entering a compound. So if you enter it early, you might not have to leave it for a very long time, which reduces your vulnerability. It allows you to have a little bit more strength moving forwards into the next circles and has you that safety that surrounds you and covers you in its warm embrace, Blank.
Indeed, indeed. Most teams now just making their way over.
Oh no. Oh no.
Monic coming from Cream Alpha.
Alpha will hear this.
Well, he's got to know. The man's basically making the most racket he could do outside, crunching around in the grass.
Alpha's just biding his time.
He's vaulting back and forth over the wall. If you wanted people to know where he is, this is what you'd be doing, right?
Well,
his
they are
team's
crashing it in. Okay.
Has this happened again with Cream Esports? Left one boy by himself. Oh, they are leaving.
Cream are split, by the way. Last is over on himself, a little bit further out west of them. I believe he has a teammate with him. We'll have to see what's going on there, but not jumping in, and looks like they're going to face off against Unique. Oh dear, this is going to be real tricky to try and get done.
Yasha up the stairs, does find the knock, refrag from Unique's teammates. Kitsune looking directly through the window, a really strong play here.
2 downs, very low HP, and he goes. Doesn't get the knock, hang on a
gets
minute.
him. How's he survived through that?
Unique, they're really on the ropes now, but finally they're able to get it done and get him down. PSK nowhere near, neither is Alpha. They won't be able to make that rotation in time.
Yeah, pretty beta play there from Unique. Came up versus 2 players, just trapped in a little house and still lost 3 members to the knock. They will finish, but all the information will be fed across right now that Unique is in this building and they are low.
Well, they are going to heal up relatively fast, and no one else is really too near. Not to mention as well, the zone will start to pressure people over towards the east, so making that diversion, whilst you might be able to take down 1 or 2 members of Unique, it's a high risk, high reward strategy that a lot of teams probably won't be willing to go for. And not only that, there's very few teams who will actually be in range to have heard that.
Also, Unique will be able to pick up a lot of meds from those players inside the building. They didn't really get much chance to actually med up at all because Unique were very much aggressive on the rush there. Asterion bopping from compound to compound, just looting up, preparing for that late game. Currently only have 1 vehicle on hand though, which is a little unfortunate. Not exactly what you want. BitIce still hanging around on the coastal side, the eastern side of the circle, just beneath Peshkova. Kantra on the bottom as well. So many teams starting to crunch together now.
Yeah, they're going to be scouting out these compounds. Here's Unique. They've got 4 kills on the board already. They've got all 4 kills so far in the game. 4 players have gone down, and all to the hands of the top fraggers themselves as they do make that rotation. They have left 2 of them behind, so they will be split up. They are just they're leapfrogging through the compounds. Immortal's taking a little bit of a fight with M19 and actually coming out on top of it around the edge of the vehicle. Not quite able to finish it out. Just giving him a little bit of a run around, but
Exclusive got some moves on the floor there.
all that did was give Cuts a little bit more cardio workout. Nothing really more.
So Exclusive on the bottom, but BitIce now. M19 not in a good spot for themselves, receiving from fire from all sides. They're just desperately trying to figure out where they need to go, but they're going to have 2 teams who will be eyes on another going straight towards Deformia Meditari. There's just nowhere good to be around here.
There certainly isn't.
TripAdvisor's just not done well for them.
They have found an empty building, but Evo Station, oh no, he's jumped up, he's dropped down. Can't make the leap, unfortunately, will get confirmed as well, and now they're down to 1. M19 at risk of becoming the first team to go out. Kinda God, peeking his head over the top. Oh, the nade is there! The damage was through as well, but it wasn't cooked for quite long enough, but they can start to push now. This should spell the end to Thanos. In come the Avengers. They are going to chop his head straight off.
That was very scary. I'm not going to lie, if I was in that situation, I'd be terrified. Robdini currently not Deuces, providing cover as is White, but it looks like Romania Team coming to finish. Hang on, 1 goes down. Robdini's still not dead as of yet.
I think a nade just came out. No, it was a Molotov, so the burn will be on. The first aid kit is there. Sunny will see, Sumi will see pretty much everybody else. Just White now left standing, it looks like, for FROMHELL. They go for the spray and will be able to get it. FROMHELL eliminated as well in 15th place.
Romania Team for a very bold strategy there, straight into FROMHELL. That's what you like to see though. 1 knock goes down and you immediately engage the rush.
A lot of teams have coalesced towards the center of the circle over on the east coast of the map. The rest of the squads who are not there just yet have started to move towards the edges. As the circle does start to close, of course we are still on phase 1 closing, so we still have a way to go, but there's quite a few compounds just sort of isolated. Cream actually taking up position in castle. So they are going to try and hold that one down and try and exit it when the circle moves away from them.
I'm not too sure about that one though, John. Because when the circle does, and it almost certainly will, move away from castle, they will have to exit, and teams will be watching that one, in particular FUTBOLIST and Heroes IceX. Unique coming on castle. KUMA currently coming down from the northern side. No Rage is currently taking pot shots at Immortal.
I've hit them a few times as well. Literally just dodged underneath a bullet. That was pretty impressive.
This is kind of what you see quite a lot in Vikendi, is people holding out these angles, hard peeking with the scopes, trying to just land a shot, take off some helmet, take off some meds from the enemy team. It's very unlikely that you see full crashes going on when it isn't forced by the circle. You don't need to be leaving, you don't need to be exposed like that. So finding the time, finding the placement for those shots is really, really important and can actually do you wonders, because you can, if you get a knock, then you have the opportunity to maybe go for a crash. If you get 2, then that's even better. If you can zone away someone, then fantastic. Nice stuff from them.
Deformia Meditari also making their way down into this highly contested area, very much on the eastern side with BidIce, Immortal, and No Rage. So Deformia Meditari come to join the party too. Magic not far behind either. FUTBOLIST, though, playing the game a little bit more carefully. Going to hold down on the very, very southern side by Hot Springs. Next circle pops, and that will force Cream out of the castle.
They are making an early exit, though. I don't think anyone was expecting anyone to be there. No one's holding the exit, so it should be fine. You see everyone now moving in to find their compounds, to find their spots and see who can have a nice shout into the next circle, into the next phases.
Yeah. Really excellent job, though. I'm still very impressed with Europe. 52 alive, 14 teams also available. So despite us seeing some good firefights, Europe is remaining nice and healthy, partly because of the way Vikendi actually plays and partly because we've seen some top-notch improvement from these teams.
The movement's a little bit better. Deformia Meditari essentially gifted this this care package. If it lands just outside the walls, they'll be able to pick that one up. Nice nice pickup for them. So they'll be able to get a level 3 armor on someone, get one of those crate weapons as well, potentially. It is the Orm, so they will be able to pop that one in. Yeah, I would say it's definitely up there. And you can loot it from inside the wall as well, so nicely done.
Just gets back in.
They spot, well, he spots the Orm and he's like, go over, go on, you get it.
Get the sniper on it.
Yeah. Give it over to the Punisher, if he's going to have that range damage. The circle's still just about to close as it heads relatively coastward again. Unique have a position on the south of Cement Factory. This is the sort of phase of Vikendi where everything becomes a little bit more sedentary and nobody really wants to make those moves.
It's pretty slow right now.
It will only be forced by the circle. And the fact that Cement Factory is so slap bang in the middle means that even those rotations will be relatively covered because there's very little open ground within the confines of Cement Factory itself.
Yeah.
Oh, was he wedged the cart? No, there we go.
Nah, he's fine.
He lost empowers it.
Just backwards and forwards. Changing camera angles maybe now and again.
Yeah. Unluckily, he doesn't have any orange sherbet.
Unique just making their way around the map right now. Very slow rotations. They know they don't have to really go anywhere too fast. Really, it's just more these teams on the northern side, which I'm worrying about. Asterion already taking a bit of shots because this is very open up on this northwest side.
Yeah, Romania Team actually being taken down a peg, losing 1 or 2 of themselves in a pretty poor, sticky, well, it's a pretty sticky situation against Asterion, who actually decide, I don't think they want to go for this.
Look at this guy. Level 3 vest, level 3 helmet, level 3 backpack. That is one beefy boy.
Got a lot of beef to him.
Huge amounts of beef. With
Set up
all the other teams as well.
Set up a butcher's.
Asterion absolutely just pretty much completely on top of Romania Team right now. May as well be sitting on them. Don't know what they're doing.
Well, Magic actually answering in and taking down Sorka, who gets flushed out completely. Nice pickup for Magic as they spot the approach from Asterion, and now they're out in the open. Romania Team will be happy for the respite that they've been delivered, but they're still in the compound. They still have to be worried about the overlook that Magic have on their position as well, but Pro is the other third party that can come in and try and mess with Magic as well.
The circle popping might actually help Asterion out a little bit here because it has moved a little bit more south towards the coast. Once again, Cement Factory still in it, but Pro, Magic, Romania Team, and Asterion are outside of it, so this will prompt teams to move. Asterion can just sit tight for the time being. They might just be saved by the bell here.
Ooh, was that smoke? I think it was. Just to cover that cross. Poser might not pose too much of a threat.
Excellent.
For now.
Just
as long as they don't walk out into the open, that is. The teams over on the northern side still duking it out. You can see Magic and Pro now starting to mount up and go for those rotations, so those third parties becoming less and less likely as time goes on. But the fight here for this compound is still going to rage on. They've got a minute before they can go, and Romania Team have been real nasty, taking out the wheels on the vehicle and rotating away themselves, spraying down, suppressing fire. Nicely done as they move away. Poser not quite able to land the shots there with the UMP at range, but they have got the UAZ to mount up. 3 of them all in the same vehicle. Not good, but hang on a minute, what's this? This Romania Team around the corner. And Asterion might get caught out by this.
That was a really smart move from Romania Team. Unfortunately, not able to get anyone out of the vehicle as of yet. There goes Poser. Excellent play. Lunatic also down.
The vehicle went up.
Yeah, and that is Asterion Myth out. What a wonderful play for Romania Team. Take out the vehicle, run away to the next compound, pretend as if you completely left, force them into the one vehicle, and then spray them as they go by. That was so impressive from these guys. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, very nicely executed. But now they're going to be moving in on foot and trying to take this hillside. There is a compound right here as well. Nobody really occupying it. In the meantime, though, there's a couple of compounds that people seem to be big fans of. There's no rage. Take a long-range fight with the Deformia Meditari. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. The scoping snipes from compound to compound. You're probably not going to get a kill, but you will get the knocks. You will get the damage down.
Geki. Nice spray onto Immortals up there. He was knocked, so now he will be out. Motvik just scouting forward. Comes the nade, doesn't quite make it down the mountain. You can see over there in the distance Deformia Meditari in a fight of their own. No rage. Looking to put the hurt on him. Out comes the nade. Not quite in the right position. That Molotov might push Deformia Meditari into a position where Lutz can actually finish them off. Gets the third person view. Does make the peak. Doesn't quite get that knock just yet, though. Billy is coming in from the rear as fast as he bloody can.
Deformia Meditari blocked off from pushing through the barn by that Molotov. Did actually hit there and stop them from making their way through. So no rage now. Have a little bit of a go at it. On the south side, you've got Unique taking on Cream at the moment. The 2 Cream players are split up. They're going to have a lot to do, and they might not be able to do all of it. The Futbolists right on the coastline on the south side of this next circle. So everyone's starting to push in towards the cement factory hill that's just down to the southeast and will probably be a really crucial part of this next map.
A shot through from Punisher. Coffin stays just out. Helios takes a lot of shots onto him.
Nade. Underarm. No. Overarm. That's what you want.
Oh, nice one, lad. Seen so many teams do the underarm play. Out comes the
depends
nade.
what you got the toggle on.
Over the top. Doesn't quite hit anyone as of yet. No rage, much more focused on getting their player back in action. Deformia Meditari currently with only 3 players, so they always want to have that 4-man advantage on side.
Ooh, a nice headshot going over onto KUMA. But again, they should just be able to get the res. That's the thing. Ultra right in the middle of this next zone. They have got a real nice spot to be getting on with. 13 teams, though, might be looking to compete for it. Billy hits one over onto Geki, but Geki finds some hard cover. Should be all right.
KUMA in a full-on firefight now with Magic. Currently only 2 players still standing. Make that... oh, no, that's just one flushed.
They are still going, though, in the fight. KUMA looking to try and hold it down for now. But they are coming a cropper. Naya finding yet another knock over onto the KUMA squad. As the push is coming in from a couple of different teams now. Deformia Meditari's fight with no rage might just be coming to a head.
Sushi clapping back Naya.
KUMA eliminated.
Yeah, that is KUMA out there. Sushi, nice headshot to him. Billy, getting a little bit cheeky there. And Bit Ice definitely punish him for his over-eager play. Nico, one of the top killers on that team, peeking him. They're still going to deal with Deformia Meditari at some point, though, so no rage. Definitely not in the best of positions right now.
Unique have moved as well. They've rotated towards the top of this hill. They have the high ground. This is a really good position for them. We've seen what they can do from spots like this before.
Nice shot from Nico there onto Lutz. The 2 snipers going at it, John. Looks like Nico, came out on top there. Deformia Meditari just taking the time with it. And why not?
They know that they're being third-partied, right? They know that there's shots from all the way over on the hill, so they don't need to push. And, well, if they expose themselves like that, they are going to take a shot.
See that on the top left of your screen again? Deformia Meditari taking a shot from Nico, so it doesn't discriminate. At least there's that.
Certainly doesn't discriminate. We'll see where that's going to come through. HIceX have that massive high ground from Silas. Look at that.
Yeah. Pro also...
Very exposed from the wrong side, though.
Yeah, Pro also just pretty much executing the Magic players one by one. There's the next circle. Ultra still very happy with that one. Unique got themselves into a good position as well on top of the hill. Waiting for teams to push in, so they will be guarding that southern side where FUTBOLIST and Cream still slowly slugging their way on over. And yet again, it's the eternal fight. It continues. These boys have got so many meds. Probably could open up their own pharmacist.
Try and sell them on the down low. I don't think it's going to help too much, though, if you've got a team rolling up right into your grill. BitIce will have to move, however. They cannot hold this hill for the entirety of the time. Immortals cut still on the eastern side. At the moment, I would say that it's probably Ultra still with a really strong spot. Unique might be able to hold down the top of this hill if they don't get dismounted by some backstabbing snakes. Coming down from the south, the FUTBOLIST Cream as well have a player over there. Cuts might get spotted out by Alpha on this rotation. Seeing what he can get done. No Rage actually going for the fight now with Deformia Meditari as Magic take on Pro on the north side.
In comes the push. Comes up. Gets a great shot onto one. Knocks one already. Moves out the way. There's the second knock. Another member drops up the stairs. It is Snow. He's all the way on the top of the house. But Master blasts them all down. And that is Pro out. Wonderful defense there from Magic. Absolutely resolute in holding this building.
Able to get it done nicely. Performed there, but they still have to leave eventually and head on south into the circle. BitIce have made that move. Deformia Meditari still facing off with No Rage, and No Rage, you can see they want to load up, they want to roll out, get away from this fight. They do not want any part of this. Immortals on the southwest taking fire from Unique as well, and they will take a lot of damage. BitIce now clashing with Magic after the end of their fight. They might not be fully healed as well, so Bit might have the advantage.
Yeah, Alan just flushed out there. No Rage. Seeing this is like, now is our time to leave. After Bit have left that really bothersome high ground for them. Geki in there onto Master. Magic still going to be pretty happy. Obviously, they won't get the points for coming in from the 11th and below, but they will get a lot of kill points. They've had a good game so far. Unique, look at them. They're up on high. May as well be in Mount Olympus right now.
The next circle zoning in towards Cement Factory. HIceX have a dominant position here. Unique will have to push down the hill. Pushing down a hill into a compound can actually prove pretty tricky because you only get to see their feet, whereas they're going to be able to see a little bit more of you. Those long sight lines may or may not come in handy. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the lay of the land is here. But for now, Unique can still just guard out against any teams moving in from the south. They have to have their exit strategy ready, however. So they will not go unchallenged.
Ashery moving out, but oh boy, got the bead on him somehow. He managed to get back into cover there. Zessi also low. Cream Monster Esports now out of the game. Circle does pop. You know what? HIceX to be very happy. That one drops right on top of them, just outside the factory.
Ooh, pops the wheel of FUTBOLIST UAZ. They're not going to be too happy with that. Will slow them down immensely, and they have one of the longer rotations to go. Unique, they want to load up. Only 30 seconds left on this circle. And they have to rotate in. Have to go a little bit further north. Kitsune actually managing to stick the first drop and stick the second, although he did go relatively slow. He's going to load up with the rest of his team. Nicely done.
He just fell to the floor very, very slow, like a blin. So nice and easy for him. Blop. Straight down. Not too unhappy with that one. Real life, that probably would have gone very differently, and there would have been a lot more screaming involved.
Yeah, I mean, thank God he was wearing a helmet.
Absolutely.
Unique get themselves a loot crate, though, as well, inside the next circle. They'll be able to load up on that one. I think that's the M249 he's managed to pick himself up for Yasha. Incredible power in suppressing fire, but they have to try and get the position to capitalize on just that. They are pushed down the hill, and they have a zone in the circle at the moment. But HIceX, they have buildings and hard cover.
Heroes Ice do this time and time and again. They just get a really nice position and hold it superbly. Unique, though, now have the bead on them. Spotted them with the binocs. Look how we can take them down now, though. Ultra onto Deformia Meditari. Deformia Meditari obviously having a bit of a better game this time round, but still, going out in 10th would not be very good for them.
You get 2 points instead of 1, but really, that's not what you're looking for. Especially when you sat so low down on the table. Goodness me, the MK14 doing so much work for Coffin there. Managed to pick that one up. Nice, nice to see them.
Magic now out. Naya was on the outside of the building here. No Rage. Helios. Just looking towards Bit Ice for the time being, who have found themselves a little bit of cover over in that compound. Peeks the head out. What a shot with the Kar 98.
Able to land it, beautifully done. Helios should be happy with that. Now that they've got the knock, though, Bit Ice, they're split up. They don't have too much power. On the southeastern side, however, there's a fight. 4 teams trying to crunch on down. There's Unique probably going to come out on top here. We'll see if they're able to maintain power. The next circle is going to force everyone away from their spots, however, as everyone's starting to move forwards.
I'm down. Helios out here looking to put a third eyeball in pretty much everybody's head at the moment. Yasha in the smoke does move the vehicle a little bit further in here. Also make sure that people don't take out the wheels. FUTBOLIST still up on high though. And she has a nice little position to play in. No Rage still in. Kind of God underneath from Deformia Meditari, but Anashi is really the backstabber here. Heroes Ice will have to move away though, as this circle hits right on top of the road. So it's going to get very messy very quickly.
Smokes will be very important here. They'll be very, very crucial in terms of orchestrating these next rotations. The trees will be pretty much the only cover for a lot of these squads. There is a little bit of cover in the compound that ooh, okay, FUTBOLIST go down almost instantly. Nerd Rage able to, not Nerd Rage, No Rage able to pick that one up. A little bit of cover, as I say, in the compounds that both No Rage and Bit Ice are occupying currently, so they might just want to stick to those for now. Ooh, Coffin jumping up. I think he's trying to bait out the peaks from Bit Ice. I think they know exactly where they are. Makes the smart rotation back and through the smoke to group up with the rest of his team. Nicely done. Unique again, just tumbling off. Kind of God. Oh, biding his time.
Yeah, Kitsune could be caught out here.
Oh,
kind of God drops
He definitely goes for this.
Easy peasy. Kind of God hidden for so long. 1 point in the bag. Back to the ground.
Not only that, but there's no retribution possible because they already dropped down the second tier here, so they can't just push back up. It's impossible. They've already claimed this. The M249 in the hands of Yasha could be pretty impactful. They've managed to claim some buildings for themselves. Nice to see that from them.
Yeah, not too many meds on side, though. Both players with only the 1 first aid kit. Heroes Ice taking a massive beating from Magic over there, the single player from Romania Team, but Soulless claps back pretty easy. Geki also taking a little bit of fire from Heroes Ice as they make their way out of the factory, but Silas sends a couple of bullets back his way.
The next circle moving out west, and again, Heroes Ice actually find the best of it. They have a wall to play around. Will they be able to hold it down, though? Because Nico has a side swipe angle on them. If he pushes up, he might just be able to rattle off the shots. If he's got enough bullets in the magazine, that is. Kind of God still up on high. Still on the cliff, still right on the deck. Deformia Meditari with their horse in the race. Unique, holding down some buildings, and actually they have one of the buildings in the next zone. It's Old Boy to be able to hold it down for now. The teams over out on the east, though, most at risk. No Rage and Bit Ice will have to make a huge rotation. Try and do it as fast as possible. Who pulls the trigger first? That's the question. Who can sustain to stay on the outside for longer? Who's going to make that gamble?
Currently, Lutz is just trying to shimmy his way across there. The smoke will keep him alive for a little bit longer. Kind of God definitely been the pain in the bottom, but Unique at the moment.
Look at the camo that he's got on board as well. He's actually pretty blended into the snow. Bit Ice take a lot of damage over onto Motvik. No Rage making the move now. Motvik super low. Coffin there. He could just jump up, and there is a tiny little gap in the wall there. Might just be able to thread a bullet through.
He actually hit him, but I think the first aid kit went off just as he got the shots through. Definitely will go to the blaze zone, though. That is starting to tick for a lot of damage. We are in phase 8. Kind of good. Will finally go down.
Oh, dear. Oh, the blow-up goes through. It's actually unique to pick up the kill. All right, then.
They did get the retribution in the end.
Yeah, just about.
Thanks for the assist, Heroes Ice.
7 kills for them.
Peeking in and out right now. Salim right now, we saw him yesterday, had a really good job at holding down a position.
Here comes the nade. This could be brutal.
Wow, really well played. Straight through the door. Old Boy gets away from it immediately.
Didn't quite thread the needle there, but they know exactly where he is now. It is a 1 versus 4. Old Boy, top fragger. Will he be able to get it done? Pushes outside. This is actually really smart. It's a high risk, though. He spots the guy on the top of the hill, goes for the spray, looking for 1, but he is really low. Has to get the down, but no. It's the play zone to claim the point.
We'll at least deny it for them. I think he did get a knock there as well, but Heroes Ice with the winner chicken dinner. Again, these guys really know how to set themselves up for success, especially when they come to those late circles. Always in the best position possible, John.
Really nice to see. They had some nice shifts for them. 8 kills to finish things off. A respectable total, to be sure. Unique, though, finishing in second. They got 6 kills total. Again, a very respectable score. So nicely done for all of these squads. Romania team finishing in 6th, actually, with 8 kills. So they should be pretty happy with their performance as well.
And FROMHELL, really no points at all. 1 point for placing from 11th to 16th, but 0 kills total. So completely different game from overall. Let's check out how this game went down on your screen right now. There's a playing path in front of you.
The hard eastern shift was sort of the early arbiter for a lot of these teams. You can see a lot of them went out west and were there. Unique started off strong. They took down half of FUTBOLIST, one of their main rivals over in Group A. But today, so far, we haven't really seen too much of them. They nearly lost here, though. 2 of them going down. I think 3 of them actually went down in the end.
Yeah, total. It was Rogue to pick up the slack in the end. In the
no, it wasn't.
It was not.
It was Kitsune.
It was Kitsune. Came up the stairs.
Yeah. They were
shotgun as well to finish them off. We didn't see the shotgun, but it was probably quite pleasing for the Unique team to watch that happen. Spanos desperately trying to fight against 4 players. We all come at him in just an absolute shot. White also go down. This was the unfortunate fight for FROMHELL. They could have potentially brought it around, but didn't work. Romania team there, excellent play. Taking out the vehicle in the beginning. Magic, once again, really valiant defense from them.
The start, the smoke on the stairs there, absolutely crucial. Beautiful stuff. It forces the enemy team to fully commit to the push up the stairs or not commit at all. And if there's any hesitancy, they just lose. They just lose the fight because they're sitting in the smoke. They have
We don't see that enough though, do we, John? Because I think we've got a lot of times we see teams are holding up stairs, but they don't toss the smokes down. So maybe we see some more of that in the future as teams start to realize how strong it actually is, forcing a team to make that kind of decision.
Yeah, I liked how Old Boy pushed out into the blue zone at the end there. It was a smart decision. If he'd got the knock, he might have been able to push around and control that side and get a second one as well. Yeah. But I don't think he'd have been able to get much more than that. It was a pretty dire situation for him. Not too much you can do when you're stuck in a single room building with no choices, but...
Yeah, the really only way he could have probably won that was with like a smoke type of play. So going out to the blue there, coming around the backside, maybe trying to go for a knock, and then into a flush to get an extra point.
There's a lot of
I just don't think he was ever winning versus those 4 players. I think it was intentionally he tried to go down to the zone though.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get 1 kill. I think that was his aim there. Would have put them up on 7, but not to worry. They still managed to accrue 20 overall with Heroes Ice taking 28 and the chicken dinner.
Obviously, Magic there had a pretty good run. Really well played to them. Took down KUMA as well on top of Pro, so 9 points total. Deformia Meditari obviously having a much better game. Didn't really do too much killing, but had some decent rotations. No Ragers in that game for a very long time. Just taking pot shots at everyone. I think they probably did the most damage out of any team. They just weren't able to finish anyone, really.
Well, that's what you see on Vikendi, as I said before. Like, you're seeing their headshots come through on the snipers. You're seeing the long-range shots with the ARs as well, with the scopes on top. DMRs as well coming into play, but not able to capitalize because, of course, you're just taking meds. You're taking, as you say, damage onto the enemy team, but you're more than likely going to be a little bit safer. As the bottom of the tables on your screen now.
Yeah, all the points just so quickly fall off. Look at this, from 12th to 16th, not a single team with any kills, all with 1 point. So it seems that all the points claimed were on that first leaderboard there, with Immortals only in 3 points and the placement points of 9 will get them 4. And here's our overall standings. Currently, Heroes Ice knocked themselves all the way up to that number 2 spot. and I think they definitely have deserved it so far. Getting 2 winner-winner chicken dinners is no accident.
Yeah, jumping up from 5th place as well. That's pretty smart stuff from them. Able to get some decent points on board, although they aren't too far ahead of FUTBOLIST, who are on 81 points, only 5-point difference, of course, but they are still quite a way away from Team Unique. A lot of work needs to be done in order to dethrone them. But all teams on this first page have 6 matches completed.
Yeah, really, probably want some good games coming out from FUTBOLIST for the next couple of ones. It's not really in risk of anything. Really, we're looking at teams 9 through to 16, at teams we want to see maybe do a little bit better. These teams kind of almost secured that semi-finals, almost. They just need to keep doing fairly well as the week progresses.
Well, you've got to remember that half of the table won't have played as many games as well.
Yeah.
So it can sort of, you know, be a little bit risky for them. Deformia Meditari, you can see them in 14th, but they've only got 48 points, 6 games played. There's still already a couple of teams 4 games ahead of them. Yeah, are sort of starting to slip. They have got that chicken dinner, though, that is tiding them over nicely for now. There's a couple of these players, starting to drop down, but those are the 4-game teams. I'm imagining we'll see them sink further and further down, and then tomorrow we'll see them rise up in the same way.
So this is where it's a scale a bit dangerous, especially for teams like KUMA Esports EU, who we've already seen play 2 of their extra matches, as well as Romania Team. And now all the way down here, let's see if we have any players.
No,
not today.
But this is the red zone, fully occupied by the 4-match squads. The bottom 4 probably need to be worried. So do Penta, so does Sapphire Ally. Well, pretty much all of them, to be honest. But Qlash really in the dumps at the moment, 4 points only. Unique finally breaking the 20 kill points with Old Boy, doing great work there. Rogue and Kitsune as well having their shout.
Yeah, back with 3 players on the kill leaderboard for them. Probably a little bit unhappy with that before, and they were like, we need to get this going, boys. Let's get those kills in. They had a much better game now, coming in second. The Old Boy making it all the way to the end there. Eclipse still with 17 kills, though. He's done really, really well for himself. And Rob Zini not adding any extra after that game.
Yeah, not going to be able to get too much done. FROMHELL, of course, going down in 15th place, so not the best there. But the kills still very much dominated by Unique, and that's echoed on the scoreboards as well. I think they're pretty similar in terms of actual placement points to everyone else, but they have, I think it's 86 to 126, which is a 40-point lead, and a lot of that is going to be down to the kills. They have about, I think, 60 kills, something like that, total to their name.
It's ridiculous.
Probably a little bit more than that, actually, by now.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a lot of points coming in, and certainly head and shoulders above most of the other competition.
Absolutely. We are going to go to a very quick break now, guys, so don't go anywhere, because we're going to be back with match number 3, which is going to be on Miramar. We'll see you guys there very soon. Oh my god, they're really going for them.
It's Mad Max. Here he goes, throwing into the spray. There's
Look
2
at this.
vehicles.
Oh,
he
he's
gets
out.
him out
Run him
again.
down,
Gets
son.
the second, goes to the run over, but no, it's just straight onto the hay bales. Fly straight on forwards. 1 goes down.
What's that noise as they just see FROMHELL just circling around and round? Here comes the rush from No Rage. Billy and Helios both down. Coffin and Lutz, they're just going to rock up a little bit closer. I feel like Billy and Helios are a little bit slow on that. Aiming to get up into position behind the trees, behind some hard cover. You maybe let the game get away from you. Oh god, this could be one hell of an A. Goes around the side.
That's nice and good. Very
Really
nice, Bobby.
Cook. Nice jump, nice try, but Bobby doesn't take any damage.
Can't dodge a bullet for that long, unfortunately. Will fall out, and that's just going to be 1 player for Romania Team and 1 player for KUMA. Left standing, Tabsy and Magic will be there, and Magic's out in the open in the sight lines of FROMHELL, and will just be shut out. So that's going to go down. Forwards.
Yeah, and they will spot him as soon as he goes past that position as well.
Whoa!
Whoa! What a nade!
There's the bouncer.
Right through. Zana's pretty much done. Salim must have seen that. Moves away across. Doesn't find him. Hero Ice absolutely deserved the winner. Chicken dinner there for them. Welcome back to the show. You're watching the European region for the PMCO 2019. My name's Blank. I'm joined by John Allen, who's going to be breaking down the action for you. NEX is our title sponsor of the stream. If you want to beat out anyone on the battleground and be absolutely ready for any situation, you need uninterrupted gaming and seamless graphics with an NEX phone.
Absolutely, we'll be able to see what's going on. Of course, a lot of these players, some of the best kit on the market, of course. They'll be taking on each other to go into game number 3 over on Miramar. A little bit bigger of a map. It's very different to Vikendi, pretty much the opposite play style. You want to be moving fluidly. You don't want to be going compound to compound, hopscotch like that. It's not going to work out this time around. No, you need to be able to conform to those defilades and figure out what you can get.
Wow, I'm pretty sure you just encapsulated the whole of Miramar's playstyle in one sentence without taking a single breath.
Who needs to breathe?
Exactly,
I haven't breathed
guys.
since I was 6.
If you're in PUBG Mobile and your lung meter's running out, you're playing wrong, essentially. So, get better.
What's that about?
Heroes Ice, right? The way I'm looking at them is they're very good at compound control, right?
Sure.
The main difference we're going to see here on Miramar is that most of the end circles might not even have a compound to work with. So we might see a completely different set of teams coming out on top here, unless Heroes Ice have completely flipped the script and they're just much better overall coming in from day 2 to day number 3. I think they had a really good game last game, but we'll have to see how things pan out today. Currently, Unique playing a really interesting, aggressive type of playstyle, though, John.
Yeah, it seems like they might have changed up just a little bit. Yesterday they had really strong rotations as well as backing it up. It feels like they moved. It seems like they've moved a little bit more heavily to fragging as it moves through, and it's coming back to bite them. I mean, they didn't follow up on a lot of kills, so you know the aggression isn't quite there. But they opt to go for a fight and then back off a little bit more than maybe we were seeing them do before. And to be quite frank, you know that hasn't done so well for them in these first 2 games. They've managed to place really well just off the back of they're so bloody good. But like you do need to be looking at these things, especially moving forwards into the semi-finals, into the regional finals as well, as things that need to be looked at.
Maybe what we could be seeing here, though, is that Team Unique know they're already qualifying for the semi-finals, right?
Well, knowing is a strong word, right? Anything can happen.
They are feeling like they're pretty much securing that semi-final spot right at this point, with such a huge kill advantage.
I would put money on them going to semi-finals, yeah.
Okay. Stop being pedantic. Leave it off. But
Just say, I'm agreeing.
if they do go into semi-finals, I know, it's okay.
What's that about?
They do go into the semi-finals. What they're really getting right now with that aggressive play style is they're not giving too much of the strategy away, right? Are you really sad now?
A little bit.
Oh,
Upset me.
why?
You were mean.
Oh, I wasn't mean. Come on. F's in chat for John right now. I'm sorry, John.
Big efforts. Big efforts. Big efforts. But let's head over into the game and see if we can't cheer me up. Over to Miramar. I'll be a fan of big rotations. I'll be a fan of holding some hill lines, some ridges. Using those nades, using that utility to great effect.
The big time smokes.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of this plane route, actually, as well. It's going to go all the way from southeast, all the way to northwest, which opens up essentially the whole map. Everyone can go pretty much everywhere. The far reaches can be reached if you drop out, go for a vehicle and try and razz it in that way. You can go for those central paths. So we'll see where people opt to go for, where people opt to drop, and hopefully we'll have quite a nice spread out start and end up with a nice rotation set into the first circle.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, John. I mean, that everyone could go anywhere here. Really, most of the rotations in the next maybe 5 or 10, or 5 minutes probably are going to be mainly based around where this circle actually drops. Obviously, because the map is so large, the circle, which will be the beginning circle, is going to be fairly small, at least, on Miramar. So we'll see where everyone opts to go to. Looks like they are just heading off east and west side. Los Leones, definitely a place where a couple of teams will want to be going. Currently, it is, I believe, Pro going down there. Asterion Myth looking to head it on up towards Power. Montenuevo seems to be a place that footballers are heading on over to. But yeah, this is really quite an open playing path for everybody.
Should be nice to get there. The circle pops. It's going out to the west. It's not too far of a shift, to be honest. And there's not actually that many teams outside of it. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 probably actually outside of it, but in reality, it's only really 2 that have a long way to go. But there's a little bit of a scuffle going on in Picardo. All right, okay. A couple of teams dropping there. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, Lunatic already been finished off. Sorka on the floor. Poser looking to help the rest of the team, but FROMHELL, off the back of a pretty bad game, have started off very strong here. Really, they just need to finish out this team now. Thompson coming in, one of the biggest fragger on this team.
You got ProLord, who might prove to be pretty tricky, and actually Poser as well. We'll be able to get one down. Will spot out the rifles, looking to finish it off. No, not going to be able to get it done. The M16 on burst fire mode, looking to trade off with Poser. Plenty of HP, falls out the back instead. The res can come through, but instead he's going around. Remember, he's still got his down teammate who could feed him information. Know exactly where it is. Gets the second down as well. Poser's doing a lot of work. But now they got backup from Hella there. They get to confirm on it. Goes for the spray. Poser half HP. Looking to try and get it. 20 bullets left in the magazine. Should be enough for one. Will be able to get a second. Remains to be seen. I think he spotted it out. Goes through the window. Rotates out wide. And looks for another shot, but he's getting pushed on. Poser 1 HP. White looking to try and get it done. He will be able to do it. Takes down ProLord in the process. FROMHELL get 4 kills. They wipe the squad.
Really great push there from FROMHELL. Did an excellent job to make sure that one worked. Poser, though, almost flipped things up in a big way for FROMHELL. They were looking a little bit worried after those first 2 knocks came through from the boy. He had to be very careful after that, though. So lacking on ammo. Obviously, they're only just dropped at this point. No Rage kicking it out with Unique over there. Hero's Ice trying to get towards the buildings. That's where they tend to shine, but out here on the dunes, Silas will be going down. Sun and Solus so far away.
He's
Pros setting themselves up well.
He's buzzard food now. Won't be lasting too much longer. As they fall on off. Here's Ice looking to try and skirt around. Over on the north side, you've got 2 teams potentially looking to fight in local Berea. KUMA, and I believe that to be Magic as well. Over on the, no, it's, or is it a Magic split up? I'm not too sure. I can't see the nameplates under the.
Yeah, no, team. that is Magic.
Yeah, they're split 2 and 2.
They're 2-2, so KUMA should have this fight with the 2 boys from Magic and La Cobliera, and just north of Crater Fields right now. Obviously, get a little bit of revenge from last game where they were taken down by Magic as they were entering the circle.
Unique, just in San Martin with No Rage, and FUTBOLIST as well. So some really heavy-hitting teams over there. Unique, though, they take the first knock, and actually it's Coffin to be able to take down Old Boy.
Yeah, Coffin is probably widely regarded as one of the best players on No Rage, and you can see why. KUMA now starting to take some shots off of a Magic on the top side. Cream Esports still very, very playing slow there, but Magic on it back. Susi just does find that headshot. Now just 1 player up there versus the 3 from KUMA. We do see it, Old Boy now on the floor. That looks like the 2 boys from Magic are finally now down. 2 other guys on Magic will have a little bit of info given to them, but 2 versus 4, the prospects are never good.
Old Boy half HP now, does need to think about being got up. He was smoked out as well, but Kitsune gets taken down on the cross before he can get to it. That's going to put the speed on him. See if they can get over like Billy O, but Coffin has the off angle. He did spot Kitsune there. Not sure if he's going to be able to spot Yasha as well on the cross. I think he might just been able to get it up. Old Boy dropping his gear on the floor by the looks of it as well. Coffin taking a little bit of damage from Rogue, but the rest of Unique really suffering heavily. Coffin might just be able to one-man wipe this thing.
Yeah, Coffin done such an excellent job. And the Gold Boy from Team Unique will be going down. Actually, a really smart move there. Tells his team where he's dropped his gear, walks out, so the box drops down, but there's nothing inside it, so he doesn't give an advantage to No Rage. But it's just Rogue now alive.
This is really not good for Unique. This is not what we expect from them at all. It's Rogue in the 1 versus 4 now, holding the corner. I think they know he's there. Don't know if they know exactly which corner he's on, but they push out wide and they go for the double peek. This is exactly how you want to execute this, and it's perfectly done. Unique fall in 15th place. No kills for them either, only 1 point earned. Uncharacteristically poor.
Yeah. Quadra kill there for Coffin in the end. insanely good plays from him.
Exactly, that's phenomenal stuff. So they're isolated early on, taken down Unique, which means that the rest of the table is opened up a little bit more as well. You got M19 still outside the zone, you got Cream over towards Impala still outside the zone, and Bit Ice over towards Cruz de Valle, just over in the northeast as well. Everyone needing to make their way in for now. Oil Poles are really not occupied by anyone at this stage. KUMA could rotate around that way to try and find themselves a little bit of ground. FUTBOLIST could move out that side as well to see if they can claim a bit of uncontested territory. But a lot of squads in the south of this current zone, not too close together, so they should be okay on this next rotation.
Yeah, the party bus does rattle on past Heroes Ice. Bit Ice coming down from Ahumada, sorry, past Cruz de Valle. Cream Esports also making their way through Los Leones. FROMHELL just passing Picardo. Most teams down by Chumacera.
So a very valuable bit of terrain here is the mountains just to the east of El Pozo, right, just south of Crater Fields. KUMA look like they might be moving down that way. They do currently have La Cobreria in their possession, but they will need to move out of there eventually. With that mountainside, you can control a lot of ground as it moves towards it. The rotations pretty much through the entirety of the middle of the circle become watched over and difficult to pass. No one's really going to be making that long rotation across the north side of the mountain, and even if they do, you will be aware of it should you opt to take that position. So it could be a valuable spot for whoever's able to claim it, but at the moment everyone's stacking up on the eastern side and no one really breaking that center line.
Not quite yet, yeah. Monte Nuevo, Power Grid, all very, very clear. Southern side is probably the most contested spot, like you say, John. But you will see probably these teams start to crash into one another very, very shortly once this next circle pops, which is going to be very soon. Most teams now making their way into the circle. Not many people out of it right now.
No Rage have mounted up from the west of Hacienda del Patron. They're going to be moving away a little bit and potentially pushing out west. They do probably want to leave a little bit earlier than potentially, but oh, okay, a southern shift. This changes the ground entirely. So everyone's going to be moving down south. All of a sudden, Power Grid not looking so strong as it potentially once did before. Well, the hills around it, certainly, because a lot of teams are going to be having to move through there, and to contest with that many, it's going to be real tricky. FUTBOLIST, I imagine, are going to move out west just a little bit. We might even see Ultra move down southwest as well. Take a little bit of those foothills just south of La Riera.
Biggest thing for me here, John, is the fact that I was going to say that these southern teams are going to have a bit of difficulty because they have to leave. But now, because they're staying, everyone who's outside the circle now has the worst time because they have to move over fairly open ground into teams who've already situated themselves in the foothills where there's so many rocky outcrops that they can hide in.
But again, those hills just south of El Pozo provide a lot of cover, provide a lot of power. They're still into the next zone. You can rotate through. Of course, Monte Nuevo is there, sat in the middle, so there's a lot of buildings to be playing around. You can razz it straight in there and move through it and try and exit the other side, which is potentially a little bit easier than going on the bare bones rotation outside across the hills, if there's a lot of teams occupying those locations. But we'll see what a lot of these teams are going to choose to go for. Exiting San Martin now, No Rage finally leaving. They have to, of course, moving on southwest. As the crossroads of Monte Nuevo gives teams a choice. Do they move in south of it, or do they try and go out west and claim a little bit of their own territory?
I think that probably would be the best option really here, John. I think you're correct in saying that this western side should be probably claimed by some teams very, very soon. FUTBOLIST, I think you said this earlier, that they have the best claim to fame on the mountains on the western side, because they'll have a pretty much clear path over there, whilst all these other teams are rotating in. But there's potential for teams like KUMA, Magic, and Bit Ice, who are on the northern side of the circle, to make an anti-clockwise rotation all the way down past El Pozo and the roads there onto the hillside. And then they'll have an amazing cut of the land there down onto all these teams who are currently just wedged together right in the center of the circle.
Immortals moving down south as well from Hacienda del Patron. As the fights go on the northeast, this is the road rage that we're going to see. As everyone's going for those parallel rotations, just taking a couple of shots. Geki has made it into the zone, has taken shots over, I believe, at Magic, or No Rage potentially as well. FROMHELL just repositioning a little bit. loading those vehicles up inside, of course. If you do that, makes them a little bit harder to hit, a little bit harder to disable, and having those vehicles super important here in Miramar to make those rotations that you need. It gives you a lot of cover into the final circles as well, which is why you sometimes see a lot of teams actually keep a party bus with them, or two apparently in the case of Ultra, because it means that you can have an incredible amount of cover when it comes to those final circles.
Yeah, they are absolutely some fat boys, those party buses, so that's going to provide you with a lot of beefy cover there. If you can even just put them together, they become an entire wall. Soulless, nice shot there on DM 54th with a headshot with the Kar98K.
Deformia Meditari, they think better of going in there and they retreat. They instead want to go for a different route. KUMA's still outside the zone, have to rotate in. Immortals just finding their way in through Picardo. Going down a little bit, but still no one's broken out west. No one's trying to hold it down. The next circle's just about to pop now. We'll zone in. Okay, so again, the western rotation maybe not, wouldn't have been the best, but can never have known that, unfortunately. Only a couple of teams actually outside this next one. I think it's 5 total that I'm counting.
We know you're not a side.
Yeah, well, you try to be time and time again, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. There is still a lot of ground inside this next circle. There's a lot of hillsides, there's a lot of defilades to be playing into. We'll see what people are able to get done with it as they move on forwards.
Heroes Ice currently in a little bit of firefight with Pro. Quite far off the way. Soulless, obviously, the lad with the big gun on the back, the Kar98K, does pack a punch. He's rocking the 3X, so not got the most range on it.
Not super huge amounts, but still got a little bit. Still can look for those shots. Playing inside the building for Hell's Ice, you know, this is, or for Heroes Ice, sorry. This is what we were talking about before. They like to stick to these buildings, but you just can't do it. There isn't enough of that sort of location inside these circles towards the end to try and sustain it. And there we go. No Rage actually finding the reverse knock. So everyone's fighting from everywhere at this stage against Heroes Ice and their location being threatened all the more.
Yeah, Soulless. Nice shot there onto Motvik. He was down. We'll remove him. That is an ambitious shot onto Zessi. See if he can hit it. Goes for it again. And actually hits a shot onto him. No, actually, I think that was from Nico. Off the way. With an AR.
Almost all the teams now made it in. KUMA have some of their cohort outside of the zone at the moment, but they've got Schlumpy taking a very edge position over on the northeast of the next circle, as everyone in these buildings just takes pot shots at each other, trying their best to open something up, try and split a skull in two, but not quite find anything anymore.
I'm a little bit iffy about...
He's doing some interior decorating.
Yeah.
He just wants to knock through this one. Yeah, so just go straight through here.
This is the place that I need knocked out.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Thank you. And be a little bit more open plan. It'll open up a lot more air. I think in general the flow of this building would be so much nicer.
And I think I can probably get a good peek on No Rage as well. That'd be excellent.
That'd be great. PUBG with destructible terrain, eh? Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something indeed. Homer. It's on the high ground here, looking down onto Magic. Magic currently have been pretty decent when it's come to fragging power, but Bid Ice obviously nothing to scoff at. Did get one of the chicken dinners on the first day that we saw them. They're on Sandhawk, I believe.
Look at how much open ground there is. Everyone's going to have to be pretty much on the deck 24/7 from these positions. Bit Ice just sharing the love on those energy drinks. The center circle is going to pop yet again. Heroes Ice still in it. They still have a building inside the zone. Cream as well have a little bit of a compound. Ultra guarding the southwestern hillsides for anyone who wants to push on in. Romania Team have to leave Chimacera and they will have to move up north. They're trying to take a fight as well, but they're mounting up and seeing what they can get done. This is going to be a difficult rotation. This is going to be the time where a lot of teams are going to crunch on in. No Rage already early into those hills just southwest of Power Grid. And so they should have a little bit of power. There is actually a loot crate there as well for them. Should they go for it.
Master, in that third-person view, making sure that he knows exactly where Homer and Geki are firing from. No Rage right behind them, though. Definitely will be hearing these shots. That's your teammate. Don't shoot him in the back of the head.
No, keep it to yourself, that one.
FUTBOLIST Now having a bit of a fight with M19, trying to claim the hillside as they move into the circle. Ultra right ahead of them, also taking some pot shots.
Yeah,
Pretty much everyone on the map, all in a little bit fight of their own. So this is when things are going to start to get a little bit funky.
This is the hair-raising rotation for a lot of these teams, as you say, Blank. Moving in here, you'll be able to claim it, but unfortunately that team 14 number is just going to drop real fast as everyone just gets gone and sees what they can find. 13 now as it is continuing just to tumble and tumble.
M19, sorry, finally out. It looked like BitIce made their way down to the warehouse. Solke right up on top of Ultra. Ultra is finished by Tron. So Tron doing his best to keep Solke in this one, but he is finally flushed out. So 3 members now only alive for both of these teams on the hillside. Tron very far back with a great little scouting position back there, but he still has to regroup his team now, make sure he can win out this firefight when it inevitably comes through. But Romania team also rocking up here.
There's a lot of players just on this ridgeline, but Ultra taking heavy fire from every angle. Anyone who can see them gets a piece of this one. Just taking knocks left and right. On the northern side as well, and on the northeastern side, you've got crunches occurring with pretty much every team who wasn't already in the circle. FROMHELL with a decent spot up the top of the hill, uncontested on their zone, as well as Pro in that central position in that compound. Really nice spot for them.
Yeah, FROMHELL actually lobbing a bit of pain over to Romania team. So although Romania team trying to get on the action between Ultra and Tron, there is a 4th party now from FROMHELL. So we've really got the nightlife going here in Miramar for the time being. KUMA just handling this warehouse, not quite in the circle. They have to walk into no rage to get into it. Out comes the smoke. They want to create a path ahead of them. Kumasushi creating that path marvelously. Zessi just absolutely spraying down onto Magic, their master. Just a tiny bit of HP left on him.
Everyone now starting to push on together. 13 teams remain, but only 38 players. Not the best of spots for a lot of people, but at the moment, as I said, I think FROMHELL have one of the better spots. Pro also with a great placement into the next circle. And look at this. FROMHELL will be able to push in along their ridge lines that they control. Pro will be able to stay put completely. It's really good for them. Cream will have to leave their compound. They will have to cross the road or try and face off against Deformia Meditari and Immortals on the eastern flank. But in the meantime, the southwestern crunch is going to happen as everybody's going to have to leave this ridgeline. That's FUTBOLIST, that's Ultra, that's Romania team as well. They're all going to have to try and make their way in.
FROMHELL have to leave this position now. They've got a pretty clear run ahead of them, but they will draw the attention of the 3 teams who've been warring against each other for quite a while on the western front. No Rage, actually very smart play there, played it super slow, not aggressive at all versus KUMA on the northern side, just forced them to dive to the play zone. But now they are taking shots from Deformia Meditari, and HIceX are making a rotation around towards BitIce. So a massive amount of teams outside the circle here, all the way around it, all around the clock. It's only Pro are currently occupying the compound in the middle. A risky move to take it that early, but it's paid off.
Pushing along these hill lines now, Cream made the early rotation. And get in front of FROMHELL, but they will have to fend them off. They will have to take the fight, and with the people coming in from across the way, across the eastern side, that's going to be real tricky to do. Immortals, that's a real bold push out into the blue. Will take a lot of damage for his trouble. He's able to get out, so should be able to heal up with the boosters that he's got on board. Actually, just headed straight for this loot crate that he sees in the middle of the road, but it's more of a bait crate than anything else. Finds a little bit of respite, though. Interesting. Very close to the next circle, but no Rage in Deformia Meditari up to the north of him. I think that was Ultra getting eliminated on the southwest side. First team from that ridgeline that we saw getting combated on earlier to go down. Romania team getting zoned out by FUTBOLIST as well. It's going to be real tricky as Deformia Meditari fall as well. Cream getting crashed on by FROMHELL.
FUTBOLIST. That's a member in the back there, and a sheet. Trying to fight with Romania team. Looks like they're doing a good job of it. Geki actually moves in, hits a player from No Rage, but No Rage coffin. He claps back with a vengeance, taking down Geki afterwards. HIceX have claimed some of the buildings within the compound that Pro is also currently in. Now can just start to take pot shots to the players who are trying to make it into the circle. Cream currently edge guarding FROMHELL. FROMHELL have got a real nasty run. Basically, there's tasers hanging from the ceiling and they're trying to get through them right now. It's just not happening. Zuku does go down though. This is a good start for FROMHELL. Now they can actually make a bit of an aggressive push.
With the smokes blooming, they could potentially even cross over to the other side of the hillside, the ridgeline. Next circle is about to pop, so this will dictate how this fight might end up, and it's going to go away from both of them. This means that FROMHELL do not need to push in. They can try and just move laterally, move across and try and actually get ahead of Cream on this rotation. But look at this, Last seems to have outthought this. He's going out for the out wide angle, but FROMHELL getting pushed on by Pocus. He's going to take a heavy casualty set.
FROMHELL, just one player left there by himself, and he is now out. Cream Esports, quite happy with that one. They do have all members on board. The only other team with all members on board other than No Rage. Pro with 3 currently hiding in that compound. But the circle moves away from them, back towards FUTBOLIST, and the remaining player from Magic, who is Fear. Pro are going to have to move out of here. What a wonderful spray from Coffin across the way onto Sun. Solus will have spotted him though. He's got a nice little position just by the roadside, but he's going to have to make the run as well soon, and Pro are definitely going to have eyes on that.
Push on in. Everyone's playing a little bit slower than potentially they're used to here, but in comes No Rage. They want a foothold in this compound. Helios dropping one, will roll up to the side of the other. Hero Ice making the run, but in comes Coffin over the top. We saw how devastating he can be in the right situation, and looks like he's going to be able to land a couple of shots onto Solus as well. They push in, they're going up against Pro, and there's only one player left alive for him.
Bobby is down, the key player on Pro, and they will be knocked out, 2 of them. Hopper alive now, just sat there on the veranda, but the rest of No Rage are just rushing in there. Just the one player. They get the spray on him. He goes down. Now just 4 teams remain. Solus from Heroes Ice, 2 players from FUTBOLIST. No Rage. They have a player down now, but he gets absolutely taken out of the way. A couple of shots were put into it before, and now we'll just finally leave the premises.
This is the situation that Cream Esports were absolutely waiting for. They need a really strong performance here. They're in the position to do it as well. FUTBOLIST, though, they've managed to get themselves 6 kills, I think, on the board for them. Really nice turn up. Should be able to find a little bit more, but Cream, they take damage from Coffin. Finds one, not quite able to find the second as they answer. Not quite able to get it up. 3 players still for Nerd Rage.
If they could.
It's No Rage. Cream Esports 2 downs now on the hillside. They've been brought even, level pegging for all of them. Looking to get those reses off. The smokes are there, but the FUTBOLIST have to try and regather themselves.
If they could, they'd have 2 players reviving Coffin at the same time. This guy has done so well for them.
Zuku gets confirmed, so Cream, they're down a man now. No Rage with the majority of the forces on board, but the reses come through for Cream.
Currently at 15 points in terms of kills, doing really well for themselves, but now they have to make this pretty difficult push upwards. Solus in the smoke down there. FUTBOLIST don't want to show their faces for too long, don't want to get third parties. They try and take down Solus, so we'll just lob in the grenades.
Chucking in 1 and 2 and 3 as well. Solus has a barrage coming his way, make that a 4th. This is not the situation you want to be there. There we go. We'll be able to finish it off. 3 teams now remain blank.
Cream Esports still in a good position. Will take down Billy. 2 members remain from No Rage in a really tough spot. Backs against the circle. That will start to electrify you.
There's the M249 coming into play as well. They managed to pick that one up from a crate. Nice pickup.
He's got such good cover, as do the boys in the back as well. No Rage can be hard-pressed to make it out of there. Coffin will lay down suppressing fire as his mate tries to move to the side, but FUTBOLIST, they have that one down. And Ashit takes down Lutz. Coffin onto Tron.
Oh, they're down.
And that'll be them out. Excellent job so far. 8 kills for Cream Esports. Now they just have to finish this one off to make that 9. Just Anashit remaining. Last is looking for him. Anashit makes his way up to full HP now. 3 players remain for Cream Esports just versus the single player from FUTBOLIST. They are all currently together, so this could potentially give Anashit a decent opportunity to spray, John.
You see Last again moving out wide. He's the off-angle player for Cream. It played off well before, but will he get picked off? Will he be able to spot it?
They claim the circle.
Forcing the push to come through. No smokes being popped just yet. You might try and skirt around the edge. You might try and give them the old do-si-do, but instead, look at this. They're riding. They want to go in. They want this 10th kill. They want this point. Isn't going to be able to claim it, unfortunately. That's Cream, able to get a winner-winner chicken dinner. That's the performance they were looking for, getting 10 kills on the board. Huge numbers being posted.
8 kills. You can't see any screen there with the winner chicken dinner over it, but 8 kills for Coffin total. 30 points total for Cream Esports. They're going to be happy with that one.
Yeah,
No
very
Rage
nicely
did a
done.
really good job overall, though. A very, very massive fragging power coming into this one. Coffin was just on an absolute tear.
Yeah, well, he took down Unique with, well, not on his own, but he was the one who got the final blows on the entirety of the Unique squad, which meant that they had no chance moving forward, obviously, because they're all dead. It's pretty difficult to progress when you are in a ditch somewhere in Miramar.
Yeah, Coffin, he basically sorted them all out of the Coffin for themselves as well.
Do you reckon he gave them all the trimmings? Just a
Yeah,
little bit
everything. I reckon they got gold trimmings on it. Especially for Old Boy. Old Boy got a diamond trimming on it.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. A Conqueror trimming.
We have our highlights on the screen for you. There's the plane path. Just allowed for so much variability in terms of people's drops, but in the end, everyone just kind of coalesced around that southern side. Everyone just crunching in there. Interesting start to the game with obviously Asterion going down to FROMHELL. FROMHELL had a fairly decent game. And then Unique going down shortly afterwards. HIceX also didn't do too badly at all.
Now, a lot of these teams that we see consistently up there are continuing just to post strong results. You know, Pro, HIceX, FROMHELL as well. They came 7th, 5 kills. It's a decent spot. We're seeing these recurring names just happen time and time again. And consistency in this stage of the game is absolutely what you want. You want to be posting 10 to 15 points per map on average to just be able to stay nice and safe and try and stay away from that red zone, that relegation zone, which will knock you out at the end of the group stages. Of course, after 12 maps have been played by every team on this stage, we will be saying goodbye to the lowest scoring 8 of them, and we'll be moving on to the semis.
And this is exactly what we were talking about at the beginning as well, John, where we had this situation where there's just no compounds available to anyone. Unfortunately, No Rage, despite having that nice little spot at the bottom, just below the little hillside, making the run across that road was nigh and impossible, and they just didn't have the smokes to make that train going forward to basically cover them as they made their way into the circle. So kind of unfortunate in the end. No Rage, just a little bit dunzoed by the circle.
Yeah, unfortunately it did them a little bit dirty. Not going to be happy with that one, but it's how it falls. That's why we have 12 games. It's so that things like that don't affect your overall performance, because in the end it is consistency, as I say. You know, anyone can win a game, because anything can happen in PUBG Mobile. It takes skill to keep consistent placing top 5, top 6 or something like that, to be able to just keep yourself away from the red zone and give yourself a lot more strength moving forward.
So we can see the final standings of match 3. 30 points to Cream Esports EU. No Rage coming with 25 despite only getting 10 placement points. They got 15 kills that game. Absolutely marvellous job from them. FUTBOLIST not doing too badly either with 22 points, and then it goes down to 10 after that. These boys in top 3, excellent job all game. I think FUTBOLIST, despite being between a rock and a hard place on top of that hill for a very, very long time, still did an excellent job to come out on top there. HIceX having a decent game as well. 12 points, nothing to scoff at. That will consistently keep you being placed on those top parts of the overall leaderboard.
FROMHELL hitting that 10 points mark that you do want to be hitting consistently, so nice from them, especially off the back of last game where they went out very, very early on. So nice to just come back in and have a solid performance, not necessarily a pop-off one.
Yeah.
You need to just be back and consistent. That's what they did.
Well, that's the exact kind of thing you need to be doing after those kind of games. It's like, we've had a bad game, now we're going to take it slow. We're not going to go for something ridiculous. We're going to try and have a good game, keep ourselves on the map going forward, and then potentially we can go for something a little bit more aggressive. We'll head back over to Erangel, which seems to be our strongest map.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to do it again. Will they be able to take the second chicken dinner today? We'll have to wait and see.
Team Unique and Asterion Myth right at the bottom there, and I was touting up Asterion Myth and Team Unique at the very beginning of the broadcast, but we do have the new standings.
They are still right at the top though.
Yeah, they
even,
really are.
Even with that performance,
The kill
They're
points
still going to be, the kill
lagging
points do
behind
slip below the placement points, but they're
on,
still
boys.
doing incredibly well. They're already 20 kills ahead of their nearest competitor, FUTBOLIST. And even then, the placement points are very close for those two, so it's really kills that are distinguishing them from the pack at this stage. Because look at this, you've got 3 teams with in the 60s of placement points, very, very close. 5 points between it, but it is absolutely the kills there.
Yeah, no rage though. No chicken dinner, but all the kills you could want in the world. 45 total, more than their placement points, keeping them themselves in it. So a very, very bloodthirsty team. And
well, they got 15 in that last game.
Yeah.
So a third, of their kill count total was just from that one game.
And this is what we were saying very beginning on day one, is that now with the new point system, if you are a very aggressive team and you can get the frags out there, but you're not always making it to that final position towards that chicken dinner, you still can place very highly on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, a point is a point, right? Like, you're going to be able to get quite a lot done for that. Towards the lower end, though, Immortals and Ultra Team, they're rising, but rising a little bit too slowly for my liking. Still very much at risk. Of course, the teams around them only on 4 maps played, so they have got a long way to go. See if they can pick up their feet and get marching on towards some chicken dinner, or at least a consistent placement. A little bit of a shake-up here, though.
Yeah, Coffin making his all the way up into that 20 kill point area after that 8 kill game that he just exhibited for us. Oh boy, still standing strong there at number 1 spot though. Robdini gets himself to 17. And the Eclipse still there at number 3, so he's been hanging around. We've only got one more match left today. It will be Erangel.
Yeah, we'll see who's going to be able to come out on top, of course. At the end of this day, we'll have a set of teams on 8 matches, a set of teams on 4 matches, so it will be a little bit different. We'll have to wait and see who's going to be able to come out on top. I'll take a look at some of the averages and things like that to be able to get some stats on board for who's doing better than who and where we can see a little bit of strength coming out and exploding from potentially the back.
Indeed. John, the statistic champion over here of the broadcast, be coming back and throwing at you thick and fast, so don't worry about it.
Something like that.
Something like that. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I
already
probably
feel
will.
it. Yeah,
do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel it in my bones.
I like that confidence. I like that confidence.
I've got it in you, man. Put it in you. Don't worry.
Solidarity.
Anyway, guys, we're going to go to a very quick break. We'll be back very shortly. We'll be going over to Erangel. The El Clasico match should be very exciting, so definitely stick around. I'll be back with you very, very soon. Oh my god, they're really going for them.
It's Mad Max. Here he goes, throwing into the spray. There's
Look
2
at this.
vehicles.
Oh,
he gets him out
Run him
again.
down,
Gets
son.
the second, goes for the run over, but no, it's just straight onto the hay bales, flies straight on forwards. One goes down.
What's that noise as they just see FROMHELL just circling round and round? Here comes the rush from No Rage. Billy and Helios both down. Coffin and Lutz, they're just going to rock up a little bit closer. I feel like Billy and Helios are a little bit slow on that. Aiming to get up into position behind the trees, behind some hard cover. You maybe let the game get away from you. Oh god, this could be one hell of an A. Goes around the side.
That's nice and good. Very
Really
nice,
nice
Bobby.
cut. Nice jump, nice try, but Bobby doesn't take any damage.
Can't dodge a bullet for that long, unfortunately. Will fall out, and that's just going to be 1 player for Romania Team and 1 player for KUMA. Left standing, Tabsy and Magic will be there, and Magic's out in the open in the sight lines of FROMHELL, and will just be shut out. So that's going to go down. Forwards.
Yeah, and they will spot him as soon as he go past that position as well. Whoa! What a nade!
There's the bouncer.
Right through. Zana's pretty much done. Salim must have seen that. Moves away across. Doesn't find him. Hero Ice absolutely deserved the winner. Chicken dinner there for them. Oh, didn't see you there. Welcome back to the show. This is the European region for the PMCO 2019. Our sponsor is NEX. Play PUBG Mobile with an NEX phone. It brings the most immersive, the most powerful, and most outstanding performance around there. If you want that glorious chicken dinner, you have to get your hands on one. And also, if you haven't got PUBG Mobile yet, definitely download that on the Google Play Store and the iOS App Store. If you don't want to miss a beat of all the PUBG Mobile action this week, which is basically around the clock, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at PUBG Mobile Esports. Smash that like button down below.
It is absolutely around the clock this week. There's enough PUBG Mobile for you to watch non-stop all day, every day, which is pretty phenomenal if you don't sleep as well. So if you are prone to sleeping, which I know a lot of people are, then of course you're going to be able to fill your days with endless PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, non-stop whatsoever. Maybe don't stay up for 6 days straight. Might not be great for your health.
Commit to it. Yeah. If you don't, then you're weak.
Commit to it. We're being serious.
I'm serious. I will send someone to tell you that you should do it.
But it's not going to be you. You're going to send a third party.
Yeah, I shall send another. I'll third party.
Third party. John third party Allen Cass.
Oh
nice.
Yeah.
By the way, my name's Blaine. This is John Allen. We've been breaking down the show with you. If you've been with us since match 1, thank you very much. It's lovely to see you again. If you haven't, welcome back to the show. We're having a great time here. We did just see Miramar. We're now going back over to Erangel. Obviously, last game, no rage. They had a really good game, 15 kills total, but it was Cream Esports, one of the underdogs, actually coming out on top in the end with excellent last circle control.
Yeah, able to launch themselves up the tables a little bit further away from that red zone, the relegation section of the tables, but we're into the final game of day 3. It's going to be Erangel, of course, played now 4 times by all of these teams that are dropping in now, or it will have been played 4 times by almost all of these teams that will be loaded up into this plane. South path will be flown this time around, but it should be very accessible to get pretty much everywhere. Military base, a little bit better for a couple of teams. We'll see who opts to go for that. Georgia Pole, of course, very accessible. Severny, maybe a little bit out of the way. Kameshki too, and I doubt we'll see Immortals head all the way to Stalba yet again.
No, it's a bit of a trek, even for them.
Yeah.
Sitting out on the top of the hill. This time, you're hoping Unique has a bit of a better game. Romania Team did excellently well last time, though. Got quite far into the game. Not seen too much of that from them, but they seem to be really starting to pop off a little bit. Asterion Myth, although having a really good day yesterday, a really good day on day 1, sorry, seem to be cooling off now at the moment. They don't seem to be doing as well as they were, so I want to see a little bit more of a spark from them. But FROMHELL, pretty consistent after having a pretty bad game on Vikendi. They're having a much better time now.
Moving on forwards. People dropping out on the eastern side now, figuring out where they are going to go. The Immortals actually out pretty late. They might look to go towards Lipovka potentially, or grab some vehicles on the road up, and maybe actually even head all the way up to Kameshki. And I said it wasn't likely, but Salba is in the next circle, so we could see it. Here we go. Unique were unhappy.
By himself.
Unique were unhappy to go down so early. Oh, that's unfortunate. He bust the tyre on the car.
Did he really follow Asterion Myth just to get revenge on Asterion? That's pretty insane right there.
All right then. Okay.
Nice and easy. The rest of his team are up by Georgia Pole.
Yeah. They are.
So I don't know what happened there.
Playing around in the crates. This is where they dropped the first time around. Old boy, maybe he missed the call and dropped short, dropped to a different place, and actually got a kill. So a point for it. That's fine. Cool. 21 kills now for this guy.
Oh boy, what are you doing? He's like, give me a sec.
He wants to
deal
top the kill points. He really wants to stay atop there, and he's already started off well.
Yeah, he's fine. He's like, I have the 21 kills, and I now have the high ground. So he's feeling much better about himself overall. Yeah. Romania Team, once again, in South George.
Ultra moved over towards Sosnovka. They moved there before. They will be unchallenged there. No one over in Novo either, so only one team on that location. Primorsk being occupied by Cream, of course, last map's winners. 3 teams relatively close to Rozhok, but school and apartments as well, very close to that, so they should just be able to loot those up relatively safely. 3 teams over towards Yasnaya as well, as everyone's actually quite spread out here. There's very little early conflict, other than, of course, Old Boy just yeeting himself straight onto Asterion.
Yeah, it's very interesting. He has now reunited himself with his team, which they're all very happy about. Asterion Myth, super confused, by what just transpired, but they're on their way now over to Gatka. Just get past Gatka now. FROMHELL, quite a few of teams like Deformia Meditari as well as FUTBOLIST, all very much in the center by Rozhok. But this time the Ultra probably won't have as easy a time as a lot of teams have had today exiting military base, because people will be holding those bridges, most definitely. Teams like KUMA in Mini-Milta and No Rage over by Milta Power. Quite a few teams there on the coastal side. You have Bid Ice by Lipovka. Pro up by Severny, so quite out of the way there.
It looks like Deformia Meditari have really laid claim to Rozhok now. No one really going up to challenge them. FUTBOLIST dropping split. Again, this is what we saw them do last time, just to the east of Rozhok, east of school, east of apartments as well. So they aren't going to be joining forces just yet. They do have threats to worry about, of course. M19 look to leave Pachinki early, actually, and head northwards.
Seems to be the plan for FUTBOLIST, at least, has been so far, is that you will just have Anasheet up on top side, whereas FUTBOLIST, Solkay make their way up towards them rather than coming down to meet them. So they want to challenge out on Rozhok and the bridges there too. So really deny those paths over. Going to see Ultra down here, just chilling out at military base. They're going to be able to loot that for as long as possible. Cream Esports actually down by Primorsk, so they're all the way on the southwesterly side of the map, so as southwest as you possibly can go.
The Immortals didn't quite go all the way up to Kameshki. They're going to loot these compounds around them. They're just going to chill out. But this is a nice start. I like it. Everyone's now figured out where they want to drop. As I said, this is the 4th time these teams will have played on Erangel. So they will sort of know where everyone likes to drop, and now they've figured it all out, so they're nice and happy with themselves. Yasnaya is probably the only town where we could see a little bit of conflict early on again between Heroes Ice and Magic. They do have a couple of players close to each other. Not too close for comfort really for a lot of them. M19 making an easterly rotation towards Shelter, towards Prison as well, as Milta is occupied. KUMA may be sending out a scout that way, but I don't think they're going to want to find too much. Cream yet to leave Primorsk. They're just looting on up.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting for Asterion Myth to send themselves over to this side as well, because last time we saw this, Asterion Myth and KUMA both trying to occupy Milta together. Didn't go very well for KUMA in the end. Asterion Myth actually came out on top there, so I'm pretty interested why they went all the way over to Gatka side. Hopefully maybe to deny the rotations from people coming out from South George, like Romania Team, or Unique.
Unique will make this exit. I imagine they're going to want to go north of the river on their next rotation. They know that Rozhok's going to be plenty occupied. They know that there's not really going to be too much ground, and we'll see what they're able to do. But of course, the circle a little bit south to bank on having a northerly shift. So maybe they're going to want to stay down south, but it's really up to them. They might try and split the river. Of course, they are towards the edge. If they opt to play edge, then they can just hold either side of the river. But again, here's Yasnaya. Here's the fight that we thought might happen early.
Yeah, Silas already takes a player down from Magic. Sun has the eyes on. Peeks out for a little while. Nade comes through from Soul. This again does get the second knock. Now the time is to go. You see Heroes Ice all converging upon Magic.
They're going to roll around.
Just needs to go around the corner. Drops the pre-fire on them. Just barely. Alan gets inside. And now Naya out of bullets. Has to go for the reload, but Silas has him in his sights. Easy peasy.
In through the windows, a veritable SWAT squad raiding on in, but they still got another player to deal with. It's Master. Ooh, takes a bit of damage as he drops on down. They should have heard that one, though. Solus is potentially going to follow it out. Actually, they have 2 players up and kicking. Sorry, I misspoke, but Alan gets into a vehicle, going to trigger the engine and give the game away for him. Will go down. They've only got 1 now. It's Master. He's up the top of another building, though. It's given them the runaround for sure, but he's already lost so many.
Yeah. I think he really wished he was David Blaine right now, because he'd levitate right off the top of that roof and really give the rest of Heroes Ice a bit of a surprise.
Is that David Blaine or is that more Dynamo? I feel like that's more Dynamo, right?
Ooh, that was Dynamo from Matt from Heroes Ice there, dropping a nade onto the top side. A little present in the form of a hand grenade.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Putting them on the hero's ice. They are going to go down first, out in 16th, unfortunately. Will not be able to hold it down in Yasnaya. But Immortals, they're in the wings. They might want to go for this one, although there is a loot crate that's dropping straight on top of one of the Immortals players. They should be able to pick that one up. Nice to see that one. Unique have made the rotation now all the way from South Georgia. They've gone all the way down south around Pachinki now, and they're trying to insert themselves in between a couple of the teams playing a little bit more centrally, just south of school.
Indeed. No rage. A little bit eyes on KUMA. I think they do know they're out there. Let's take a quick look at the map. Cream Esports now making their way in as a Asterion. Unique's all the way, and they made a very fast rotation.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about there. It's probably quite smart here. There's a couple of hills around that they can play on. Nice location for them to try and hold. Not too close to that western flank where they know a couple of teams will be pushing from. So have to try and figure out what they're going to hold. They're holding up on Potato Hill at the moment, and it's a really nice spot for them, so they should just be able to spread out, control the ground as they see fit. KUMA might challenge them for it, but they're being challenged themselves as they make a rotation.
Deuce is just elasticating backwards and forwards on the top of this roof at the moment. But like you say, Unique having a hang around. Circle's pretty favourable towards them, as you can see though. Most teams just making their way in the moment. Pretty straightforward passing back into the circle. No real teams edge guarding too heavily. Really, the only people you're looking a little bit scared for are No Rage as they walk into KUMA, M19, BitIce, and Unique, who are just ahead of all the teams there as well.
Making the moves. Everyone's doing not bad there. FROMHELL, they have got actually quite a good spot here because, of course, they've got control of the apartment, so they got a lot of high ground. They can have a lot of overlook onto the surrounding territories and stop anyone going in. Severny needs to be evacuated by Pro relatively soon. Immortals will need to think about moving down the rest of their squad as well as they are moving past a bit, but here comes Unique holding it down on Potato Hill.
There's Stark is getting away now, but they're running straight into FUTBOLIST, but FUTBOLIST just not having it. It goes straight on past. Ultra dropping down. They're driving literally straight past FUTBOLIST. Just one shot will pretty much take him out of there. Ultra just runs down Anashi though. I don't think they were expecting that. And they managed to get by scot-free, essentially. Ultra did a really good job to get back down that hill. I don't know if it was more luck than anything, but they managed to get past FUTBOLIST with little to no effort. And Unique continue to hold, but they will have some information from that push there. They will know where some of the teams have gone. Cream Esports also making their way up to Unique. So Unique is really in like this point of crossing. They have really good position on top of the hill currently, so they have eyes on a lot of people, but
it's the reason it's got a name as well. I mean, it does look like a potato on the map, but there's a reason that it's so well known by a lot of teams. It's really, really nice sight lines, really nice to hold as well. You can fan out and control so much. And especially in a circle like this where you're almost bang central, it's probably one of the prime locations along with where FROMHELL is sitting. Deformia Meditari a little bit out west in one of those compounds just west of school. They should be okay as well. There's plenty of ground to play with, so no one's really at risk at this stage, but it's going to be tricky for a couple of these teams to find their footing. Of course, FUTBOLIST's probably the hardest of the bunch.
Yeah, they are just rocking up to Unique right now. There is some hard cover available for FUTBOLIST though. The rock right in front of them, and then they can slowly move their way up. But Yasha, as you can see, currently got the nade out, goes back, hits Tron for an absolute ton. Second one comes through, will knock him. Solke behind the tree. Unique doing an excellent job to flush out these members of FUTBOLIST on the hillside. Can now move up as the rest of Anashi and Zessi move up to see them. Lovely nade, lovely crossfire comes through. Solke still alive for the time being. Out comes the nade right past Yasha. Does only take 50% though. Immediately flushed. And now you can just expect FUTBOLIST probably to leave, but they're actually coming. No, they're leaving now, yeah. 2 players, better than none.
See what they're able to get done. FUTBOLIST moving further in. Unique holding it down. Next circle will push people up and northeast towards Yasnaya, actually, in the field south of it. The hills as well there. Currently not really super occupied. Pro might be able to sneak on in across the river into the next zone as they go. Unique will have to dismount from the hillside. A good spot for now, but they have to move on in. 3 kills already to their name. A nice chunk so far. Will they be able to zone anymore? Remains to be seen. The Immortals making a rotation back towards Yasnaya, of course, having to rotate it past that before from the area of Kameshki, from Stalber as well. And everyone now making that northeasterly rotation as they start to move themselves in. Deformia Meditari will need to leave towards the eastern side of Rostov.
Yeah, huge migration from all these teams. Deformia Meditari is going to make that clockwise rotation, like you were saying, John. Heading in through the bridge sign, just past Yasnaya, but Pro are currently holding that bridge down, so they might be able to get a couple of cheeky kills there. Unique just roll on past NR. No rage after... they gave him some trouble last game, John, but they will just immediately go on past, but...
Okay, hang on a minute.
Yasha actually drops out.
He gets 2 picks over onto No Rage.
Ace job, and actually takes down Coffin, who is their biggest worry.
Rogue gets out as well as Kitsune. Here comes Yasha though. The cavalry's incoming as well in the form of Old Boy. Both of the Unique players out there are still live and kicking, but in comes Yasha, in comes Old Boy. They're rolling in, they're going for the crash.
Lord.
It's Zezzy. The fire is being drawn as well as he pops on out. Will look to go for the res, but Zezzy is going for the fight instead. There's a little bit of a risk involved here, but he has to go back inside Kitsune at risk. They want the kills. It's KUMA to try and find the shots. Will spot out Rogue in the field, but it's Zezzy to be able to confirm it. Old Boy goes down, and I think that's Unique out as Yasha falls.
Unique once again with a poor showing.
It's unfortunate, really.
Here's the chocolate frog scenario coming through absolutely one more time. They had one good fight and then they were done.
Everyone now made their way into the next circle. Asterion will need to try and sneak their way in, as Romania Team can move on with a nice counterclockwise rotation. A lot of teams now occupying a lot of ground as people will start to come into relatively close quarters with each other. Plenty of buildings, though, to be playing around. And for now, I think Europe is moving in towards more of a compound-style play, actually. You can see a lot of these teams grouping up. And this is sort of where we saw the Indian region last time around, kind of basing themselves really heavily in compounds and rotating smartly between them. But no one really playing the terrain, except for teams like M19, who can just pop out of nowhere and apparently rattle you down.
Yeah, excellent job from them. Really good focus fire onto Poser. His motorbike is going absolutely nowhere. Nico, though, from Bid Ice, holding down this compound. Bid Ice are definitely a team to worry about because a lot of times they do just wait in the wings and they will just third party the hell out of you. So you've got to be worried about them at all times. Circle does pop once again from Hell in a good position. Like I was saying before, Erangel definitely their best map.
Should be able to hold it down. Another loot crate dropping over very near to them as well, so they'll be happy with that. Pro need to push in, and they've got Deformia Meditari to try and stop them. They will mount up and try and rotate through, though. Are they going to rotate around sideways, or are they just going to crash straight in? It looks like they're going to go a little bit counterclockwise, but other than that, their method of approach remains relatively unchanged, and they're crashing straight into Deformia Meditari.
Pro now in the tree line. Mario gets out, takes a couple of shots. Hopper there. Bobby puts the damage into Warfarin. Warfarin pops out once again on a sliver of HP. One shot and he's done. Out comes a nade. Takes down Mario. Hopper takes a bloody lot of damage as well. Warfarin actually managed to get the first aid kit off, and now Bobby's in a terrible situation. Still takes him down. Bobby, excellent combat artist here. Punisher on the top side, looking to finish off Bobby. Does pop round. Notices it. It's the same push that Warfarin just made, and Bobby's got it down to Pat. 2 players down. Hopper, currently still up 2. Claw down there.
Spot him out. He's there. He's right on your screen. Goodness me. Well, it's Bobby to save the day yet again. Nicely done, and Pro are able to wipe them off the map. Nice push will be coming in. Deformia Meditari are eliminated. As FROMHELL now need to anchor it down. They've got No Rage as well down to their southeast. So, sorry, that's Immortals down to their southeast. No Rage are down on the southwest, still outside the zone, yet to find a spot, but everyone else now starting to crunch on in.
Yeah, KUMA having a pretty tough time overall. They just rocked up on Bid Ice, and Bid Ice just tore them apart. 11 teams remain, 36 alive. This is more what we're used to for the European region. Homer rolls on past. They're just going to hold up on this hillside right outside the circle. So very much playing edge there. And Homer actually runs over KUMA. I'm not sure if he even meant to do that, you know.
Well, either way, they get the kill. KUMA go down. Eliminated in 11th position, 1 point to their name. Not happy with that at all. But No Rage starting to really pick up their feet. This team continues to impress me time and time again. They could just get knocks left and right.
Yeah, despite losing their key member in Coffin, showing that they're not just a one-man team at all.
Well, maybe we spoke too soon. Helios does go down. Geki has the SKS.
You hear that shot come out and you immediately start ducking and weaving, don't you? Like, that is a one big gun.
Oh, yeah. Just missing it. Not quite able to hit it. Needs to move a little bit along the hill line to get into cover. The res comes through and we'll be able to pick that one up. The rest of the team just going to be a little bit safer as well. Ultra, though, in the way of both of these squads trying to move on forwards. Potentially trying to third party it. FROMHELL still with a very strong position. Asterion making a counterclockwise rotation towards where Pro are currently sitting. Immortals on the eastern side might just be able to stop them from making anything further.
Next circle pops. Goes southern side. FUTBOLIST in a good position there. There is a small road bisecting circle itself, so people will have to choose a side to play on. Currently, the northeast side is hugely populated. Teams are having to move their way down there. That's teams like Immortal, FROMHELL, Pro, Asterion, all have to push their way into FUTBOLIST, but BitIce still going off.
Yeah, Ultra have a compound here. They're on the southern side. Not too many teams are going to make the full cross, so they are pretty lucky in that circumstance. They'll see if they can capitalize on it as well. Cream now making that rotation, trying to get across, but not quite able to land the shots. It's Lemonake, I think that is. Lemonake? I'll go with Lemonake.
Limonic?
Limonic? Oh, maybe. We'll have to find that one out. But yeah, Ultra in a really good spot here. Cream need to make the rotation in eastward, and all of the dribs and drabs from the north need to push on down. Not too much left in the zone, and there's a massive road right in the middle of it, chopping up the remaining territory.
Deuces from FROMHELL has himself acquired that arm. It's going to be doing a lot of damage. Immortal's power with M2492, but he will be going down, so that'll be taken out of the way. Now FROMHELL are rocking up, taking quite a bit of damage from Tiger there. Tiger does take down Dooku. Now just White and Deuces waiting there. Good nade comes over the top, forcing Tiger forward. Will provide him a little bit of time.
Not only that, but there's a fight on the other flank as well from Pro. They can't really hold off two pushes all at once. Some nice nades coming in. Thompson just becoming this wild card. He is just laid down atop the hill. No one really knows that he's there, but nice nades from Tiger as well. He answers in kind. Oh, he banks the nade. Unfortunate indeed. Sends it backwards.
That looked pretty accurate as well. Kills going off in the background. Many teams here taking casualties.
Many teams indeed. No Rage getting pushed on by Ultra. Sorry, no Rage pushing into Ultra, trying to go for the fight and actually finding one already, looking for another, but FROMHELL still engaged in this fight.
Yeah, Deuce is now dropped as well, but Dooku will return in kind onto Heroes Ice. Tiger still watching FROMHELL, but Pro looking to make this crash here as two other teams face it out. Lunatic currently on the floor. Hopper makes his way down. Claw just on the sidelines. A lot of damage coming from Asterion Lunatic, but he does finally go down as Pro figure out who is there. Zessi, so low HP. It's really all up to Anasheet right now, who's stuck inside this jack. Out comes the door, does find the first.
No Rage were eliminated. No Rage eliminated, sorry, Ultra Team in the meantime on that southern compound, so they've taken that over whilst this fight is ensuing, of course. Everyone going very low. A lot of players dropping. 8 teams alive and 25 players left.
There is Bobby, just avoids death there. Claw does get the revive onto Hopper. They are much more focusing on keeping enough players alive. Bobby is almost surely dead in there. Smokes come out. Immortals takes down Thompson. Top fragger for FROMHELL, but Pro Claw now making the move. Moves into the compound over the top side. Will have the off angle on them.
Cream, by the way, still in the circle with 3 players alive. I think one is knocked as well, but they might just be able to get all 4 in. Another good performance for them could see them real safe into the standings.
Anasheet so low, Pro finally make it, but only 1 player remains for them. FUTBOLIST down in 8th. Heroes Ice still doing a really good job so far, though. Bringing it back here on Erangel. They've had some great games today. BitIce now just holding on this ridge side. Immortal cuts, though, in the background. They're waiting.
No Rage pushing onto Cream. Pocus and Zuku trying to hold it down, but it's only Pocus now left standing, I think, for Cream. So they have one of them down.
Moving forward.
Billy gets knocked. Heroes Ice becoming the third party here as Pocus just sitting in the middle in the smokes. Trying to maintain a bit of safety. Billy not able to finish off the kill onto the remaining Cream player. And I think that it is Cream. Yeah, there we go. It is going to be eliminated. Down in 6th, though. Not terrible. A decent scoreline. We'll see who's going to be able to come out on top, though, as Bit Ice have all 4 remaining.
Hopper now removed by Heroes Ice. Not sure how many kills are Heroes Ice on, but it's got to be a pretty big number so far. There goes down Billy too. Motvig got to make this cross to the road as well. They are just about in the circle for the time being. We'll wait for the next circle does drop. Heroes Ice currently split up between 2 compounds. And that's where this team absolutely does shine.
That's actually a real annoyance for Helios, who needs to cross up and push in. Because he's still got X-Sun HP to try and move past, and the smokes will be out to give him a little bit of cover, because then he can get to the ridge lines, then he can get to a little bit of cover. You can see that Sun HP is going to be taking a little bit of fire from Lutz. Nice cover from him, and Helios rejoins his teammate.
Bit Ice still have the potential here to take this game. The only issue for them is if Cuts intends on taking a player down. Does not! Bit Ice actually make the turnaround, take him down, and now they're in a really good position to continue pushing on through. They also have the loot crate, a little bit of cover available to them. Very little, but it is something.
It's right next to a vehicle as well that's already there. They could potentially blow that up, use that as a nice launching platform for a push onto another location. Trying to take a little bit of a forward
cover
spot.
to just one player. They are going to go for the smoke, provide cover as they make their way up there. They will probably have to blow out the vehicle before they head over to it, to make sure the players from Hero Ice don't use it to destroy them.
This is unfortunate, though. The next circle is all the way on the other side of the road, so they do have to make the full send over and see what they can get done. 2 teams remain on the other side. 3 players alive for Heroes Ice. No Rage with 2, but one of them is downed. A nice Molotov to stop any pushes coming through as they get the res off, so No Rage still with 2 live and
This
kicking.
is really well executed for Heroes Ice. Move on the side. Homer takes so much damage. Definitely going to have to use that first aid kit now. This might provide time for Heroes Ice to actually make the crossing. Remember, No Rage are still in this game. They go all the way across, straight towards where No Rage are actually hiding.
They need to try and crash, but they manage to find themselves a little bit of respite. Pushing in, there goes the nade, straight on. Oh, it bounces back off the rock, unfortunate, but in comes another one as well. There is one more to bounce, and it is going to blow up Soulless. A lot of HP taken away from him. Look at Sun, though. He's all the way in the back on the off angle. Could prove real tricky.
Indeed. Out comes the run from Helios. Gets behind the vehicle. Now he has the side swipe. Onto Bit Ice. Homer currently, it's the tree that stands between him and Salim.
Oh dear. Yeah, there's no way he stays up here. He hasn't started healing, you can see from his character model.
No Rage. Actually potentially in a good position here to take the game, but like you were saying, you have Sun HP in the back who is going to cause a lot of issues for these teams, because if they can take down the 3 players from Bit Ice over here behind the vehicle, they still have to deal with Sun in the end. Homer now down to the play zone. That's going to be taking for a lot. Obviously, we're in phase 7. Helios moves up once again, but they are spotted by Sun HP, who has the side swipe on them, has this flank side.
Oh dear. Unfortunately, for them they are entirely known. Oh, they poke a shoulder out, and one of them falls. Helios gets confirmed as well. Oh, that's disastrous for No Rage. They've had a good shout into it, though, so far.
Forgot to put the handbrakes on. The vehicle just rolls a little bit far forward. Out comes Geki. One goes down. That's Salim. Despite everything, Bit Ice are still in this one.
But only for now, though. Heroes Ice are going to be able to stand up just a little bit. 2 players remaining in the circle. Bit Ice managed to push across. Nice use of smokes here. This is the power of utility. Into the final circles. Zone 8. Encroaching. Heroes Ice trying to fire onto these spots, but Sun is really pinned here. If they smoke off his angle, they can try and flank out wide. Soulless, you can see him creeping through those smokes that Bit Ice used earlier. Lutz just holding on for dear life. Doesn't want any part of this fight, trying to just ladder up in terms of the points. And the placements, of course, staying alive means 4 points.
Oh, what a shot from Soulless directly into the head there. But Nico returns in kind. Nice shot there. But Sun, he's looking for the shot onto him. Soulless does go down, so now just the 1 player. Smoke comes out, try to cover his approach. Motvik is getting up Geki, so they will have 3 players remaining in. Sun makes the long rotation, but Lutz there sorts himself into the 2nd place. Now he's versus 3 players. This is where it becomes very difficult. He has the hillside to contend with.
That kill was worth 4 points there on the cross. Nicely picked up. They got 14 kills already for No Rage. A huge, huge pickup. I don't even know if they know where Lutz is, but they're going for the push anyway. He's on the deck. Geki is going to get spotted out. Takes a lot of damage, but is he going to be able to confirm it? Not quite there. And it's BitIce to claim it, but no Rage with huge numbers of kills being racked up. 7 kills for Lutz. Nice performance from them.
We have to remember as well, this team practically started with just a 3-man roster there because Coffin went down super, super early. BitIce, though, despite everything, they did not have the circle look there. They made it work for themselves. The smokes on the cross, the utility usage was excellent. The loot crate was a little bit lucky for them, but to be honest with you, everything else was played perfectly. The refrags were always there.
The thing is, if the loot crate hadn't have been there, they would have played it differently. They were able to cross so hard because of the loot crate. They could have crossed a little softer with smokes and actually fanned out a little bit wider. Maybe had a couple of wider peaks as well. Used the other side of the road as their boundary rather than the close side, and maybe had a different game of it. But either way, they were able to clean it out. The decent set of kills as well, able to claim a total of 10 with that chicken dinner, so 30 points on the board.
Yeah, real nail-biter a game there. Very, very fun to watch. It was the start of a map there which pretty much had every opportunity available to you go anywhere on the map, and we had a pretty circular circle in the middle, right in the center.
Tend to be like that, don't they?
They tend to be like that. I don't think I've ever drawn a perfect circle in my life, though.
Do you not? Have you never used a compass?
What is a compass?
You don't know what a compass is?
I do know what a compass is.
You know what a compass is.
Yeah.
You were schooled in English.
Mainly just marveled at how spiky they were. I'm like, why would they ever give this to a child in school?
Oh, that's the sort of kid you were, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Fair enough. You're the guy sat behind me in maths, poked me in the back of the head with a compass, aren't you?
Not in the back of the head.
In the neck.
Yes. I'm not that mean. Head's too much.
Dear.
Neck, acceptable.
You've thrown a compass or two in your day, but there's...
I'm not a compass ninja.
Are you not?
No.
Oh, well, fair enough.
No, that can go horribly wrong.
It absolutely could. Do not recommend. Do not try that at home.
Here's this crazy push from Unique. They just keep running into teams over and over, so it looks like they've got a little bit bold on day 3.
I mean, they had the points buffer to do it. Maybe they were just trying to feel out who's got strength, who's got a little bit more clout to their aim as well. Maybe they're trying to just practice and treat this as a little bit as a scrim and try out some new tactics.
Yeah, potentially.
It's the most accurate scrim you're ever going to have, right? It's actual live tournament play.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're already so far ahead as you are as Team Unique, then sure, why not? You know, why not go for a couple of scrim games?
Like you said, you've got the points buffer, but really good couple of games from Team No Rage. I wonder if they've actually managed to overtake Team Unique now, because there is a potential.
Well, they were quite far off still, I think.
They hit
even
30
after
points,
the last game. They did hit 30 points, and actually Unique only got, I think, 1 or 2. Well, no, they got a couple of kills. They got quite a few kills.
I'm pretty sure they will be in second.
Total.
I'm pretty sure they'll be in second.
Yeah, but they'll be within striking distance now.
Yeah.
The gap will be closed. It will be very much achievable, especially if Unique keep playing so bold, so aggressive, for them to lead from.
I mean, at this point, No Rage, they're in the position where they can get the compass and poke Team Unique in the back of the neck.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly
in terms of points,
it's compass poking range.
Compass poking range. I'm going to use that in future now. But yeah, really good game overall. That was actually, I was shaking in my seat towards the end there, so I was having a really good time. Yeah, I was over here like this. It was like such a good game. But Heroes Ice, really cool plays from both them and BitIce as well to make it all the way to the end there. I think Heroes Ice has definitely come up to be one of the more dominant teams today. They've had a really strong showing so far. I'm very impressed with them.
Heroes Ice and No Rage, I think the two teams that really stood out to me as people to watch, as squads to watch, of course. The second day is almost always a better indicator than the first day when a lot of these teams play, because, of course, then they settled into their groove. But let's take a look at just what happened. Almost No Rage able to catch up on points, but not quite. 14 kills will do a lot, but if you've got a first place with 10 points, that's real hard to catch.
Yeah. Still always the bridesmaid, never the bride for No Rage. Can't quite get that chicken dinner as of yet, but still, the points are always really good. So
yeah,
they've got to be still pretty happy with that one. Heroes IceX, only with the 19 points though. BitIce sitting there right at the top. FUTBOLIST down with 9. Wow. Pro with 15 with the 8 kills. that big buffer actually helped them out a lot there, so they were pretty happy with that one.
Cream did okay as well. They managed to put 7 on the board, which isn't the best result, but it's better than they've done most of the time. So they should be able to add just a couple to their tally and have a little bit more power moving through. FROMHELL, obviously, a little bit disappointing for them. We were expecting a little bit more from them today, but they weren't quite able to mount up as they were in the first time around on Erangel today.
Things looked like they were starting to go quite well from the beginning, but then just kind of went downhill from there. Team Unique there with 4 points, Ultra Team with 4 as well. Deformia Meditari, I think they're all but out, John, at this point.
Yeah, like they've had 2/3 of their games now, and I think they've racked up a total of 9 points or something like that. I think it's like a really, really low number. So they've got 4 games to try and escape that red zone. Is a real tall order, especially with the way they're playing now.
Yeah. So here's the total scoreboard. No Rigs there, setting up 115 points, but Heroes IceX with the 2 chicken dinners sitting at 117, almost catched up to Team Unique right now. So really good job to Heroes IceX. Really, really happy with them. 70 placement points.
Close 2 to 4 is. Within 5 points, the 3 teams just argy-barging about, and BitIce as well, really nipping at their heels within 16 points of them as well. Team Unique, they still have quite a decent buffer. Like they're still sat relatively clearly out front, and they have got the even kill point place point that will satisfy you, the 6-6-6-6 on either column.
Super evil.
Super evil.
You add that 4-6.
You think FROMHELL evil? No, just wait until you see
Team Unique.
Team Unique. Man.
Maybe this is what they were going for, and they just wanted that on the total leaderboard.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like,
they are so good that they can precisely go out at the right time with the right number of kills.
Yeah. Like, shall we try it, boys? Shall we try it? And yeah, maybe. We never know. Anyway, hope to see a little bit more from Team Unique in the future. Again, I don't know. This really feels very uncharacteristic of them so far. Maybe they're just getting a little bit of the lay of the land. Here we have Esports EU, 76 points. Not doing too badly for themselves, actually.
Deformia Meditari had a chicken dinner. I completely forget. I forget about that every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
14th, actually not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, they have played all 8 games, so if you're looking at out of only 2 teams with 4 games are on this page, which means that out of the 16 teams that have played 8, they are in the bottom 4.
They can't drop 10. Basically, they cannot drop 10 positions now. They need to stay within 10 position points.
For sure. We'll see if they're able to do it. But shout out to Bro as well, able to stay up there, even on the 4 games.
Bro Gang is Bro Mobile Gaming. Sorry, I'm thinking a completely different team now. God, just got.
No, it was the Bro Gang.
Was it for the Bro
Gang?
Gang?
That's what we called them.
Oh yeah, the Bro Gang. Yeah,
who
dude.
sacrificed themselves.
Yeah, I just can't believe they're there. They're a wonderful team to watch. If you get a chance to watch the Bro Gang, you have to tune in and watch them there. Yeah. They're incredibly insane. No, there it is. Brothers Gang. The Brothers Gang.
Is it? Oh wait, hang on a minute. Oh yeah, no, I am mistaken.
It's Bro Mobile Gaming are the good ones. Yeah.
Wow. All right. QLash Spain still sat down there on 6 points. Of course, they haven't changed from the start of the day, still on 4 games. But in comes the kills leaderboard.
That 1 kill, yes!
Unique, oh boy, just sat atop, still clinging on to the top fragger spot. Of course, there, Coffin and Lutz able to claim it out. Lutz had to step up with 7 kills in the previous game. Coffin going down early, as you said.
Team No Rage doesn't seem to be a very apt name for the team. They seem more like Team Rage, just all the way, with 40 kills between 2 players on the teams.
They've missed a comma in their team there. Team No Rage. That's what they want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And there's Soulless there. Obviously, he does really good to get a lot of the kills as we go through the games. And Eclipse, right there in the end, at 5. But he can definitely bring that back when he does play tomorrow.
Exactly. He's on 4 games. The rest of these guys are on 8. Remember that. Yeah. He's a real hyphy fragger.
Indeed. He's an absolute pogger, all in all.
Oh, yeah. Pog's in the chat.
Pog's in the chat, boys.
But
we had a really good day overall. That was the final game of the day. I'm really sorry, guys. There is nothing left for you other than to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is the PUBG Mobile Esports. Drop a like over there as well. Also, if you want to play some PUBG Mobile, definitely download that one on the Google Play App Store and also the iOS App Store as well. My name's Blank. You can find me on Twitter at BlankCast. There is John Allen, also at John Allencast on Twitter. And we will catch you guys later and tomorrow. So goodbye and good night.